y'all. Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the Ladies First panel. Thank you guys so much for joining us. How y'all doing?
What's up?
It's time to go.
Good. This good Thursday night.
I'm so happy it's almost Friday.
I'm feeling that music.
For real.
You still feeling the music, Bonnie?
A little bit.
I
feel like it's like telenovela music.
It does give you that. Yeah, it does. It does give that a little bit. We see y'all in the comments. Thank y'all for joining us. Before we get started, I'm gonna have all of the ladies go ahead and tell you guys where you can catch them at. We'll start with Miss J. Lee.
I am J.Lee's Corner on YouTube, on IG and Twitter. It is J_Lee's_corner. Thank you very much.
Let me see.
Is it you? Is it me? I don't.
I'll go. Okay. Hey y'all, it's Niecy Dixon. Today, I hit 5,000 subscribers, y'all.
Congratulations, boo!
Today, yes, y'all. And then tomorrow will be 1 year since I put out my first YouTube video. Not consistently, but since the first one. So it's cause to celebrate. But y'all can find me at Niecy Dixon on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, wherever. Niecy Dixon.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Me, you can find me everywhere at Bondy Blue. Okay, everywhere. I'm on TikTok now. I'm trying to, gain my followership on there. So please follow me on TikTok at Bondy Blue, and also on Instagram because, unfortunately, I still love Instagram.
Why? Unfortunately,
because they be on bullshit.
You don't be on Twitter.
I don't be on Twitter because once I be on Twitter, it's like word vomit, and I don't feel like arguing with people all the time. And people always want to argue on Twitter, and I just kind of be like, bitch, I'm not about to keep arguing with you. So in order to keep my stress level down, I just don't be on Twitter like that.
They get one bad comment, block. I ain't got time. I ain't gonna fuss. Block, bitch. Be blessed.
Yeah, I like Twitter. Twitter is probably my favorite.
I like scrolling the hashtag.
I'm a video picture person, so that's probably why Instagram is more my thing. Yeah. But I do understand liking Twitter because it is fun. But like I said, it's word vomit. Once you get into it, it's like you're saying the most just thoughts, and then I be, so I don't need to have like my high thoughts all over Twitter. That's okay.
Yeah, that's when I need to get off.
Yeah, I think Twitter, it's good for breaking news and stuff. That's where I find all of my tea at. And I haven't been on Twitter like that either. I'm like Bondy. Instagram is my thing, but I'm starting to get back in the groove of getting on Twitter. So y'all can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Everything is jamithatsme.
Yeah, Jamie, you've been popping out with them lives with the quick chats.
Okay,
right?
Do a little song, listening to J. Lee and Bondy doing what I gotta do. Okay, do what you gotta do.
It's about growth here, okay?
Right,
and the information of it all.
All right,
good hair and good cups.
Period. Well, I got my good bottle.
Yes, come on, water.
We got bottles and they got glasses. I'm be fancy. I'm gonna have a whole little glass. I'm real fancy with a nice little wine glass.
Yeah,
because I can't drink. Cause I gotta go to work tomorrow, so I don't drink because I won't go to work. So I have to just have water.
You better than me. I'll be like, I'll sleep it off. But y'all, the first time I drank tequila on a panel where I was lit, the next day I was like, I'm never doing it again. Never. I actually had to drive in. That's how lit the panels be.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go too hard. See, my thing is that I really like to drink, and we go out to nice restaurants, and I'm like, bitch, what is the best cocktail on the menu? Give it to me. So I be, having moments where I'm chilling, and right now, I'm chilling.
See, I pick restaurants based on their drink menu because I'm like, the food don't really matter if you don't have a good drink to go with it. So I'm like, what's the drink menu first? Let me see what that is. Then we can see if we can go eat there.
Nah, see, in New Orleans, it's a totally different situation. It's all about the food. At the end of the day, bitch, you can always give me a rum and Coke. Okay? This food needs to be right because otherwise I'm going to be upset.
Well, that's true too.
Everybody should have at least rum and Coke now. Come on.
Yes.
Or
Or vodka and pineapple. No,
shots.
vodka and pineapple. I'm telling y'all, do a vodka and pineapple. It's real smooth. You get drunk and you don't know until you drunk.
Sweet. I don't like none of my liquor to be overly sweet. I'm like a tequila tonic, and I take the lime and just squeeze the lime.
Oh, I
gotta be tricked. Yeah, see, I gotta be tricked to get
not
tricked, but you know,
right.
And
I want to feel it first.
Liquor, like the next morning, my head be hurting. I be all over the place, but that brown have me right. You know, I can drink as much as I want, and then I can just pop up the next morning like, hi. You know, it does a body good.
I'm like, I ain't coming in. I see y'all on Thursday. I can't come. I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm like, no, I won't go work if I'm drunk.
Exactly.
I absolutely love drunk Bondi. Listen.
Oh, that's the last week. But see, last week was different because she came in from dinner. So she was just, it was different.
They love drunk Bondi titties. That's what they love.
That's what it is.
I forgot about that.
We got drunk Bondi titties twice, like 2 weeks in a while. Like, oh, they're gonna like her boobies.
Oh, it's so great that I'm sober today. It's so great.
Well, we're going to go ahead and switch some gears. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into some games and some gossip chat. But, before we get into the gossip, y'all, we got to give y'all the games. So let me go ahead and just let y'all know what we got up next. Let me get my video now.
My favorite.
Want to
y'all, I wish y'all saw how hype I was when that sound came on. I said,
I was like, like, what? Know what I'm doing.
Come on, sound effects.
Okay. Yes.
Not my chest is full too.
Marry, F, and kill. I feel like I got an interesting list though, so I hope you guys have fun with these.
Oh Lord,
I'm excited.
That's coming up. These guys, they've been in the acting game for some time now, and they've still been holding it together. So let me go ahead and pop them up.
Is it Morgan Freeman? Okay, thank God.
Oh no, not Morgan.
I loved it.
This is a good one.
I love Morgan Freeman. Look like my daddy, so I was just like, please don't do that to me.
I'll go last. I'm gonna let you ladies go first. Who y'all got?
Ooh, Lorenz, Boris, and Morris.
Like
I do.
Yes, that's a good orgy.
Yeah,
that's real good. Let's run the train. Yeah, you know what? It depends. See, that's something too. We're gonna do that a bit. Train versus a threesome. But no, I would marry Lorenz. Because I just feel like, I take that back. I would marry Boris. I would fuck Lorenz. And now I would have to kill Morris Chestnut. Because I feel like Boris is he's shown us to be a good supportive husband. Like he get groceries, he birth babies if he has to. He's a good man. Lorenz, something about him gives me, I want to fuck him from off that Ashanti video. From that thing or whatever, but I don't know what kind of husband he would be. And Morris just got to die because that's all that's left.
I feel you on that. What was the movie that Lorenz was in when he was like somebody famous, all the different wives?
Yeah, Frankie Lyman.
Frankie Lyman.
Yes, when I saw that movie, I was a kid, but that was the first person who I felt like I was in love with off the movie. So I'm marrying Lorenz. I have to. I will fuck Morris and kill Boris. Even though my first thought was to marry Boris, but I have to hold true to my younger self and marry Lorenz. I just want to fuck Morris, and for that reason, Boris has to go for me.
And see, I feel like I'm the switch of that. Because I would marry Morris Chestnut, kill Boris, and fuck Lorenz. And the reason why is because, first of all, Lorenz is shorter and, that should make for a good time, standing up and such. And then his energy is all in his lower area here. If y'all notice, like Morris is kind of giving you that too. But no, Lorenz, you know, gravity is really down there. So I'm gonna fuck Lorenz. And I'm, even though I know Boris is a good husband and all of that, he's just way too pretty for me. I need Morris as my husband. Like stab over Morris for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. This was hard, and it still is, because I was thinking I would marry Lorenz. I really was, but then that's hard. No, I'm gonna marry Lorenz. Yeah, I would marry Lorenz for sure. That man is, yeah, I would marry him. But Boris, I would definitely smash him on the side. But I wouldn't want to kill Morris. I would really just want to hide him. Can I lock him in the basement?
No, he gotta die. It's called murder, death, kill. No, he gotta die. He gotta go.
So he gotta
go. Stab. Or, you know, shoot. Either way you want to kill him, you gotta go.
Shoot him.
Shot, gotta go, buddy.
Drown them in the pool, like, you know, people do on TV.
Yeah.
Lorenz is amazing. Lorenz hasn't aged a bit in 40 since Menace.
How tall he is? How tall is he really?
I don't think he's tall. Let's Google it.
No, I wouldn't even give him 5'10", but it's something about him being short and fine that just makes me like.
And then like still looking the same. Like he's so
it'd be some men where it'd be like, God knew not to put height on you, because if he put height on you, that would be
That's fine. That's fine. That's not short.
That's how tall I am, y'all.
That's good. You know, just things and flats.
Face to face.
I'll take it. I won't even complain.
Mm-hmm.
So a threesome, a threesome and an orgy or a train. Because this, to me, okay, it would be a foursome of a sort. Because I feel like a foursome or a threesome is when you having sex all at the same time. But a train means is one person after the other. So I would want to have all of them at the same time. And so, like, they would not have to interact with each other, but it will be things going on, you know, that will require it to not be called a train. Now, later on, it might lead into one, but it's going to start.
It's official. I'm really not that straight, because I do not want multiple niggas at one time. Like, give me one nigga to
you said you're not what, Bonnie?
I do not want multiple niggas at one time.
Really straight.
I am not really straight, because all I can think of is train, rape, disrespect. But I do get it. I get it, you know what I'm saying? Because like everybody loves orgy porn, but I like my orgy porn to be like more women than men. And if I was, that's why I say I picked threesome.
That's why
I picked threesome, but with women and not with, you know, like a dude and another girl for sure, or two girls. But I don't need two guys and one girl ever.
See, I don't like cooch, so I can't, you know.
There you
I don't
go.
like cooch, so I wouldn't. I couldn't. To me, I can't. You know.
Y'all remember the second Twa? The second Twa movie, the Pandora's Box one, there was a scene where she had a dream that she was getting fucked by her husband and your boy. Dude. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Michael. You know, whatever.
Michael J. White.
Yes. You know, what Spawn, as I used to call him back in the day, bitch. He was Spawn back in the day. But yes, like I saw that and I was like, okay, that's kind of nice. But at the same time, I would have to be really, like, I would have to know you niggas. Like, it would have to be a situation where we sign contracts. Y'all have been recorded going in. Y'all are recorded going out. I can't chance it. You know, but more power to y'all.
That's how I know I'm not a lesbian, because I don't want to eat no cooch.
Oh yeah.
So for me, I would have to have more penis than cooch.
I still wouldn't. I wouldn't want to eat no cooch, but I still would want more than one peen at a time.
It's too much.
But what was a peen in the dildo?
Just one.
Yeah.
So if Morris Chestnut and Lorenz Tate said we need to have it all together, y'all gonna say no? If they come in the room, dick
No, I ain't
in
gonna say
hand.
no. I'm gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
No, we gonna. I can't do that.
Ask
Yeah.
me.
Okay, I'm sorry
I
for
feel
hearing
like
that.
a
I'm sorry.
whole slut. Oh my god! Like I couldn't.
I'd be like, slut me out. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
My goodness.
I wouldn't.
Somebody
Because my
said
thing is
threesomes
a
are
man a slut? Is a man a slut for banging two chicks? Like if it's okay for it to be two chicks and one penis, if two cooches and one penis is cool. I think one cooch and two penises should be okay as long as the two penises ain't touching. Because I don't want them to touch. They can touch me. They can't touch each other. That's just I don't want to
that's
dick.
fine. But I just feel like too many penises just is like high
It's
school
too
rape.
much.
No, like no pineapple. Safe word. I didn't ask for this. It makes me nervous. But I could see how a completely straight woman would want more than one man. I could see that. Cause like I don't know. Like I would prefer one of each.
Yeah, no. And to answer your question, Jay Lee, no, it doesn't make a man a slut. It make him a hoe. He a hoe.
See?
If he out here hunching on all these.
He's a whore.
Oh yeah, and I also want to say y'all are giving eating cooch a bad rep because sucking dick is so much more tiring. But go off.
But I don't want to eat cooch though.
I feel you, but I'm just saying you're giving it a bad rep. I like the way everybody's making it sound. They're making it sound really bad. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter
you gotta put that much work in. Goddamn.
I mean, you really can. You just lay there and it's fine. Like, but with sucking, you have got to be like into it. Like, you can't just be laying there. You got to be into it with your hands.
But you can use your hands a little less than your mouth sometimes. But I feel like eating coochies, you gotta hold your breath for a long time. It be real, it be.
I was about to say you hold your breath.
No, not hold your breath. I mean, like because you down there eating, you have to be down there actively doing things with your mouth only. Also your hands, but whatever you can.
Mouth only for the most part.
You can be, you can be milking cows with your hands.
Their head on your thigh while they be eating you out.
Like get up.
Yeah, no,
get up.
Get off. Kick your head. Get up. No. But
I can't rest my head on your thigh. Don't rest your head on mine.
Okay. But I'm just gonna say, for me personally, having done both, one just requires a lot more work, but it's fine because I'm down for the challenge of it all. But that's all.
I don't want to find out either because I'm like I don't want to eat cooch. I won't eat cooch. I guess I'm just straight. I be wanting to be like open minded. Like what could I eat a cooch?
There's some things people don't need to be open minded about, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I used to feel like that back in the day, and then I did it.
You get a cooch one day.
Yeah, like we all felt like that. We were all like in high school, like all girls high school, dating girls and shit, talking about I'm never doing it. That's not happening, bitch. All of a sudden, so Christmas, I've decided I'm gonna do it. Like I
ain't gonna do it.
I don't do that. No,
I did it.
See, this what girl chat happened. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, and speaking of hoes, I'm glad you guys, mentioned, eating a lot of coot, sucking a lot of peen. I'm sure they had a lot of peen sucking. They were eating a lot of coot because they got a lot of motherfucking kids too. Okay.
Oh Lord. Okay. Mary fuck kids.
This is
let's
easy.
Get into it. Future, Nick, and Offset. Who you got, Jimmy?
Oh,
I don't want to go first.
This is so hard.
I got it.
Okay, because I'm like, I don't know yet.
I will marry Offset.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the least amount of kids.
He does. He has 4.
He's also successfully married currently.
Yes. I'll marry Offset. I'm fucking Nick because if I get pregnant by Nick, I know that I'll get my check.
Mm-hmm.
With Future, you ain't getting no check. So I'm not fucking Future. I'm killing Future.
Stab.
I would. He gotta die. I would marry Offset because I feel like his dick has to be amazing for Cardi to stay with him through all his bullshit.
And she's real nasty about it too.
Yeah, and something about Offset is real. Like I'ma stay for the dick. Like but he also make breakfast for the babies because like he runs kids or whatever. So I would marry Offset. I might have to stab him so like he wouldn't die. I would have to fuck Nick solely because I feel like Future has some kind of STD I don't want. And so for that, I think he just has to die. I feel like Future look like he has whatever diseases has like pills to take for it. He has them all. Like he don't have any incurable diseases, but he has all the ones that can be cured. He just kind of keeps giving them to people. I don't want that. So Future gotta die.
You're out of here, Future. Did you go, Bondi?
No, I did not, but I will now. Okay, so funny thing. Whenever I look at Offset, I see my dad. It's so funny. I feel like he has my dad's face a little bit. But people look at my dad when he was older. I know like younger pictures of him where I'm like, damn, Offset looks like my dad. And if y'all really look at him, Morgan Freeman and Offset look alike in the face. They're just different skin tones. But I'll let y'all have it.
Oh shit.
I'm just saying. Yeah, Morgan Freeman, because my dad looks like Morgan Freeman as an older man, but when he was younger, I feel like he definitely looks like a lighter complected version of Offset. His nose, the way his mouth look, it's a situation. So I would marry Offset for that reason, and also because Cardi B makes him come off like he's a halfway decent husband. And honestly, I was caught up at first because I didn't know whether I was gonna fuck Nick or Future, but now I feel like I'm gonna fuck Nick because I feel like Nick is probably gonna make sure you enjoy yourself, because Nick is one of those people that at one point people thought he was lame and he never wants to be known for having bad sex. So he's gonna make sure that whatever y'all do, that pussy is laid. And then if you do get pregnant, he gonna take care of you, but he real choosy about who he gets pregnant. So he not just gonna get anybody pregnant. Okay. Future, I feel like his dick is dirty, like Jay Lee said, but I also feel like he gonna disrespect me before he get the pussy. And that's why he's not gonna get it. Because there's some point where he's gonna say or do something that's gonna make me feel away. Nick, on the other hand, is going to have intelligent conversation and smile and open doors and pull out chairs and make you feel like he is just the best nigga you never met in your life. He gonna tear your cat up and then he gonna leave you with a nice little basket and a Uber driver to send you home. Or not even an Uber driver. He gonna have you a nice little black car with a little basket and he gonna send you home with a Plan B pill just to make sure. Like, don't he seem like the type that send you home with like some shampoo and body lotion with his name Incredible? We had an incredible.
Thanks for giving me cooch little basket to go basket.
The t-shirt, bitch. It was some panties with Incredible on the front. Like everybody.
A Wildin' Out t-shirt.
A Wildin' Out t-shirt, bitch. Yes, wildin'. I'm so happy that show is back. By the way, I really can sit and watch that shit all day. Anyway, but yeah, so that. For that reason, I'm going to go ahead and fuck Nick Cannon and I'm going to kill Future. And I'm going to kill Future with a swiftness. Like, I'm a coup de grace that nigga. I'm going to like turn around and roundhouse kick him in the face.
Ooh.
Ooh, double murder.
Round kick.
Not double homicide, bitch. Nick, don't be stealing my idea now. Don't be giving these bitches incredible baskets now that I didn't put it out there. We're gonna
have incredible baskets for people.
Okay. He sends you flowers in an incredible basket with chocolate covered strawberries the next day.
Nick's incredible basket is the baby. Good night.
Yes.
That's just incredible. You get a new car in a new house in a push
and a photo shoot.
Oh, thank you.
I'll get a photo shoot.
Time with Chills. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Hey, thank you. We got the car. We haven't been back to the restaurant because the weather here has been insane lately. Like it's been storming, like for real. We had flood watch and everything. Restaurants closed early yesterday. It was a whole ordeal. So for like the past 3 or 4 days, I haven't even been out the house. So we haven't gone, but I have the car. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you.
You're welcome for my freaky chat. I'll be trying to shut up sometime because I'll be team. You're having shut up right now. And go either way.
So I would marry Offset because Offset does give me the vibes that he's a really good dad. Now he got some effed up ways about him. Please don't get me wrong, but I think he would be a good family guy. So I would definitely marry Offset. I would smash Nick. I have no excuse. It seemed like Nick, that's all he want to do is F anyway. He ain't trying to lock nobody down no way. So it's like, just smash your ass. And Future, he would have to DIE for me because he ain't, He ain't gonna say, like, I'm smashing you. Like, first of all, Future ain't gonna commit to nobody. So how can we even try to marry? He's not gonna give you what you want anyway. Right. And then don't get pregnant because he's not going to claim the baby.
That's the thing. You won't get no coin.
You're gonna have to go through a whole lot. So it would be a no for me on Future. But I got some other guys that y'all may like a little more. Let us pray. Okay. These are entertainers and they're sexy. Let's get into it.
Oh,
okay. Your intro to this group of people was too funny.
I want to go first. Okay, I already know. So I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I don't know enough about Mario, even though he look real good in this picture right now. Something tells me the toxicity in me is gonna fuck Chris Brown, and the bohemian, the bohemian love goddess in me is going to marry Omarion.
Love goddess.
Okay, yes, bitch. Love goddess. Sense. Okay. Voodoo pussy oils. Like all kinds of stuff. Getting cool. So yes, I would marry Omarion. I would fuck Chris Brown because I feel like his abusive ass would tear the shit up. And I feel like we've seen pictures of his meat and it was sizable. And with the way he be dancing, that thigh meat, you know what I'm saying? Like holla at me. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he's slammed down. And Mario, I hate to see you go because you giving me like the way he looking at me right now in this picture, bitch. I'm feeling it in my spirit.
In the spirit,
yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go because Omarion is there.
I would marry Mario. No, I take that back. I would marry Omarion because he's real calm. And I think he's calm, but he also looks like behind closed doors, he's very freaky. But it's a real, like Sade, Erykah Badu freakiness. And also a bit of Jill Scott and like some Marvin Gaye in there too. And a little bit of Out of 2000. So I would marry Omarion. I will for sure fuck Chris Brown. I think Chris has something about Chris is real fuckable. Even though he's an asshole sometimes, I think everybody at least want to fuck Chris Brown. The reason I would kill Mario is because I feel like his voice irks my nerves. When he talk is weird. Like his voice don't match his singing, and then when he talk, I don't know if he's an asshole or a great person. He's like an enigma, and I don't want to be with him. I don't want that in my life because I'll wake up dead one day. So that's what I pick.
Y'all, I feel like we're overlooking. Y'all remember that clip of April screaming? She was like, "We got to do this. We got to take care of the kids. We got to do this." Something about Omarion tells me that he carries a high level of toxicity. It's always the people that's like peaceful, this, that, zen, where it's like on the flip side, they be a fool. So I am marrying Mario. Okay. I will smash Omarion. Because I think that's a tolerable level of toxicity. Whereas with Chris, I don't think, that ain't gonna work. So Chris has got to go. Marry Mario, smash Omarion, pass on Chris.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say that I think Omarion was toxic when he was with April. Those are my thoughts. I think it was her. Let me stop. I blame April.
I don't like to blame the woman, but I blame her too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I ain't gonna say nothing though.
I would definitely marry Omarion. Like, I mean, he's just fine. I know he's in shape. He gonna help me be in shape. He's a great father to them kids.
He gonna do yoga. Y'all gonna meditate.
You said who's a great father?
Yes.
Omarion.
Oh, I thought you said Mario. I was like, he got kids.
No, I feel like Omarion is some tantric sex or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, you're trying to like reach another plane of existence through the peen, and I'm here for it. Take me.
For sure. Yeah, Chris, I would the shit out of Chris. Like, period. I would definitely climb that tree for sure. Damn that. Okay. Period.
Run it.
I would want to climb Mario too, but he'll have to go to the dungeon, or he just got to go stab. He got to stab. Mario, I'm so sorry, Mario.
Dead to the bed.
But Niecy said she'll marry you, though.
Yeah. Well, I was
even though she engaged, she said she's not still marry you, though.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that man. It's like he's an enigma. I'm like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he like, we don't really hear much. And when we do, he's singing some old song, and I'm looking like, I ain't got time for that.
I saw him somewhere. I was at some concert, and he was like a front runner, and he was singing songs that I didn't know. I can't remember what it was.
I'm mad because I was about to sing a fucking Lloyd song. Stop when I'm in it.
I think he was at the Millennial Tour.
Oh, he was on that tour.
That's where I saw him at.
Yeah, he was on that tour when we was kids. Like when the Millennium Tour was new. He was it was him, it was Lloyd, it was them light
whole little crew.
Yeah. Chingy, I like it when you do that right there.
I like Chingy.
Oh, okay, we used to be killing that shit back in the day. Go ahead.
Sure did. Right? We used to.
Oh my god.
Oh, nah.
To go in. So y'all know I had to bring the ladies. You know what I'm saying? You know.
For me, thank
really
you.
Be married, but we ain't got the ladies up here, right? But these ladies are very interesting ladies.
Oh
and
God.
They happen to actually be sisters. And I just want to know who y'all trying to marry. Fuck. And then
hell. Okay.
Why did you do
this? This is a waste.
Somebody play Real Sisters by Future.
Nah, I'm gonna get the STD. I would. You know what? I would marry Courtney.
Behind it for me.
I would marry Courtney because Courtney seems like the only one who is normal. Even her regular self is weird, but she's still like herself. I would marry Courtney. Damn, I would. Damn, we Kim and Chloe.
We got through the fuck boys faster than this one.
No. I was like, who do I pick? I would. Oh God! You know what? I'm gonna change because they all gotta die. Really, in real life, you know what? I'm going to. I would marry Kim. I would marry Kim because Kim do seem like a good wife. She love the kids and she thinks she black. So I can, she understands the black person. She thinks she do at least. So I would marry Kim. I would then fuck Courtney and I would kill Chloe because I don't like Chloe. Chloe to me is the one person who doesn't want to admit that she's a different person. Now, so for that, she got to die. Stab, stab, stab. All up and through. Damn, her daddy was a killer too. Oh shit! I done killed OJ dog.
Daddy, JD,
OJ don't come after me. Oh Jesus, I'm sorry.
He don't claim her. That's okay.
That's true.
Were you gonna go, Niecy?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. For me, my first thought was to marry Courtney because she's such a good mom and she's always about the kids and reading labels. But something about Courtney comes off as
racist.
That, and also she seems to be the most caring out of all of them. So I feel like she would get on my nerves. Absolutely. So I can't marry Courtney. What I will do is marry Kim, though, because I feel like Kim is the only one who does, well, let me not go too far. Kim doesn't think that she's black as much as Chloe does. Chloe thinks that she is a black woman, like especially since she didn't have this baby. So I'll marry Kim. Oh gosh, I guess I'll fuck Chloe, I guess, and I kill Courtney. But really, I could just, I don't know. Kim just seems like the least worst, the least bad out of all of them.
Okay, I'm gonna go because it just came to me. I would marry Chloe, I would fuck Kim, and I would kill Courtney. I'm gonna tell you why. Because even though, echo. Even though Chloe is annoying as hell, when I remember actually watching her on the show, her personality and temperament is more on the side of somebody that I could actually be with. Like when her and Lamar were together, she was really funny and laid back. And I think there's a part of her that's still that, but I think people have made her so insecure about the way she looked in comparison to her sisters that she's constantly trying to achieve some level of perfection that is unattainable. Especially as you're aging, you know what I'm saying, as a white woman. So I feel like she is doing the
as a white woman.
I'm just saying, I mean, you're a white woman, so you know, you're not gonna age as well, honey. It's just like the math of it all. But Chloe, I would marry Chloe because I feel like she's probably, you know, easier person to get along with. Kim makes me feel like at some point I would be rolling my fucking eyes so much at her. Like, oh my God. But I will fuck her because Courtney gives me secret racist vibes. Like, why y'all always gotta bring all these black guys around? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's one of them. So
oh yeah, because she is the only one who doesn't have any, you know, she doesn't
never
dabble in
dated
the
a
black
black guy.
penis.
Right. So, and I'm fine with that. Like I used to actually like that about her, and then I can't remember what happened, but something happened that made me feel different.
It's probably whenever she got upset at Corey for saying that he should that they should whoop the daughter.
Yeah,
that's probably what it was. That's that's when her Karen came out.
Yes, for sure.
Her badass biting ass daughter.
Yeah, and that little girl is bad as fuck. And in all honesty, y'all really should be whipping those. So I feel like some kids don't need to be whipped. I really do believe some kids do not need to be physically touched in order for you to get your point across with them. You can raise your voice and they'll cry. And there are other kids that punishing them doesn't work. Raising your voice doesn't work. So what you gonna have to do? What you gonna do? You gonna let a 6-year-old run your fucking house? I think not. I'm gonna smack that ass and you gonna go sit down. It's not abuse. Okay, that's just how I feel about it. But anyway, yeah, I can't with Courtney. Stab. So go ahead.
She gotta die.
Yeah, I would probably marry Kim. I can appreciate the work she's doing for the black people out here, the work that she's helping out with. I probably could marry her. You know, she got some style too, even though she get on my nerves. You know, I like that. She's cool. Courtney, I'll probably smash Courtney, even though she never like married a black person or anything. Courtney has had some black meat, period. I don't care what nobody say. So I would probably smash Courtney, but Chloe just not who she used to be. She used to be my favorite Kardashian because as superficial as Kim is, Chloe never used to be like that. And then I guess she had conformed and just felt as though she needed to try and be like that. I don't know if it happened when people started believing that she was really OJ's daughter. And she was like, I need to change up so I can look more like a Kardashian. I don't know what happened, but everything about her changed. And I just ain't really been featuring her at all. So she would have to go. Stab.
May she rest in peace.
Okay. So let's move on to some gossip. Okay. The first person we about to go ahead and get into is Miss Hazel E.
Lord Jesus.
I didn't know who that was, if I'm being honest. I had no clue who that was till you said it.
That's like her second or third face.
I could of her. You know, Hazel has been down the road of surgery for a very long time. We've seen her starting with her nose, from my understanding, and then just going from there and there. You know, she had the baby last year with Devin. She decided after a few months she was going to go and have a surgery. Why she did not get this surgery in America, I don't know. She decided to go to Istanbul, Turkey, take her family over there. Now, we saw her post something, a few weeks ago, complaining about how she was trying to get a boob job for this mommy makeover, and she couldn't get the mommy makeover because I guess she already had some bad work on her breast or whatever. And the doctor said, I don't want to do that to you. But then we see that her and her man are going off on the surgery center, and it sounded like the doctor tried to go back in and fix what he did. I don't know. My short answer to this thing, I just feel like you could have avoided all of this had you just stayed in America and not went over there to go get this surgery. Maybe it wasn't meant for you. What are y'all thoughts about the Hazel Lee situation?
Did you see the video? Did y'all see the video of Brandy, Lil B crying because apparently she is the one that put her in contact with these people or some shit like that? So she was on there crying about it too, the same way that Hazel was on there crying about it. And I just feel like Hazel always wants sympathy, and I think Lil B is like that too. I think, you know, every once in a while y'all let shit slip because y'all want somebody to feel bad for y'all. But I mean, she's been fucking up her body for a while now, trying to look like something that she just doesn't look like. I think that sometimes your body is just not made to look a certain way, and sometimes you just have to deal with that. You don't have a lot of hip. You probably would have had a little bit more had you left your body alone and just went through the natural progression of aging and having a baby. But instead, you kept wanting to fuck with yourself until the point where now you've ruined your body and you can't even get the surgery really, excuse me, to fix it. But then again, it's like, how do we even know if you've actually tried to fix it appropriately? Because you never seem to want to go to a doctor in the fucking States. Like, why do you always want to go to a doctor out of the country? You got all this money. You're living in LA. Why are you going so cheap on body surgery, bitch? Like, it makes no sense to me that you will put yourself in harm's way and then allegedly something happened with the baby too.
Yeah, the baby.
When I saw the 2 different videos, because I saw it was 3 videos. The first one she did crying about it. Then she came out crying again about it. And then Brandy was crying again about it. I'm like, it's too much. Then Devon posted his little, you know what I'm saying, video, whatever, about the baby getting sick. Supposedly, whatever food they was eating over there made the baby sick. But I'm looking like, it's a baby. You can't really be giving babies other foods when you don't know how they will react to certain foods. And I feel like, you know, Devon or Hazel blaming the facility, to me, is bullshit. Why would y'all leave LA? I feel like if you want surgery, LA is probably one, or this California is where one of the most places where it has a million different doctors. Some who was expensive, some who was not. You was on VH1 and WeTV. You couldn't get a free body by a good doctor, bitch, for some promotion. I'm like, what made you go to Turkey? Who leaves LA to get surgery? And I think Lil B crying was dumb, because my thing is, even if you suggested, hey, I heard over there in Turkey, you know, if you want something real cheap or whatever, go to so and so. Hazel should have done her own research. You can't, if I say, hey, I like the slush place, you go there, pick your own slush. Don't blame me if it's nasty. Like, I think Hazel do things for attention, and when things go wrong, she likes to blame other people. That's all on you. You went over there with your child. That baby not even a year old yet. So to make it seem as if, and I get some people want the mommy makeover after the baby, but if you can't afford it, then don't get it done. Your body was already fucked up from other stuff. Let your body finish healing. And I think she had maybe endometriosis, where she said the reason she was so big in the beginning of her pregnancy was because of whatever else was going on with her. Let your body heal, bitch. You broke your body. Your tits is all broken because of you. So girl, Turkey of all places, not Mexico, not the where else? Anywhere but Turkey.
Right. She could have went to Miami. I know the doctors be real cheap in Miami, because the Colombian doctors, I think they go to school in Colombia and they be doing all the surgery in Miami. So yeah, she was just trying to save a coin. I just keep laughing because we had this picture of her up here, and I can't help but think about her and her trucker hat with them pink ass lipstick, the pink ass lipstick on. Like, we have so many 2 different faces right now. I'm thinking about that first Hazel E, the young bird, Hazel E. And then I was also confused because they kept talking about the kid, right? And I was like, what does the kid have to do with the plastic surgery? But I mean, y'all just explained that the kid ate some food. And I'm just not one to really give a fuck about anything that Hazel E really has to say whenever she hits the media. Anytime her name comes up in the media, it's just like, literally, when I saw the video of her crying, it was like 4 swipes. She's there talking, so I was like, swipe, swipe, swipe. Then she, and I was like, let me close this. I don't. It is what it is. You did it to yourself. You take the risk when you go overseas. You never know what's going to happen. And that's one of the other things. It's really dangerous whenever you go overseas, because then you have to be on a flight back. And a lot of times you can't just fly immediately after having surgery. You're in a whole different altitude. There are people who've died in the air. Implants bursted. Who knows what? So you took the chance. I feel like this is embarrassing, foolish as hell, and you probably should have kept it to yourself, because we're going to be talking about it like we are now. So I don't know why you keep wanting your name to float in the media. It's just not smart.
The way her husband was going off, I could not stop laughing. I thought it was so funny that you would go all the way over there to have surgery. But I'm glad Jay Lee pointed out the fact that you've already had issues going on with your body. Why would you risk your body in this whole pandemic to go over there to go and get surgery and possibly not even be able to make it back? Then you sent your husband and your daughter over there with you.
Did y'all see that the episode of her and Masika on the talk like months ago?
On the talk.
The
conversation.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Not the talk show. What they call it? The conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Conversation.
Girl, they both looked a hot ass mess. Masika looked cheap, and Hazel looked a hot ass mess. I was like, girl, don't pop a stitch. Don't pop a stitch.
Yeah, I literally thought she was pregnant whenever Masika said, "Congratulations." How far along are you? And
that was the thing, because she said whatever I don't know the name of it was, but you knew you had body issues. This medically. Why act like, okay, I'm gonna go over there and get it? And somebody in the comments said she probably went there because the doctor told her no, so she couldn't get it done here. So she went over there where they're like, you know what, fuck it, we'll get you whatever. Well, then that bitch. You know, if you want to go somewhere and do something against medical advice, then you want to go die. So go over there, die over there, and we'll rest in peace. We'll hashtag you, whatever, but that's on you to do that. I mean, that's just dumb. Oh, Hazel ass E.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. This shit is so comical. It's comical as fuck. You can't make
it's dumb. It's like but it's like you keep crying on camera, and it's because the first video of her crying on camera, and then the second one because she said the exact. I'm like, so you cried twice for saying read. I'm like, who does that? It's like, did you think let me redo it because the first time the phone rang and interrupted me, so let me do a whole new crying because my boobs had to be removed. It's like, no, your implants were removed. Not your boobs. You didn't you didn't lose you lost your implants, which they can then just put in again once your body heals a little bit more. But I'm like, girl.
So somebody said not only is it cheaper to have the surgery out of the country, but they can take more fat out when you do the liposuction in the BBL than in the United States. The regulations are different. So yeah, you really went out there and got yourself knifed up.
That's
because if you wasn't right, because like if you wasn't safe for the surgery in America, when you go out of the country and they talking about taking out even more, you know you wasn't safe for that shit, girl.
Facts. Somebody hopped on a plane and came right on back to America
with an infant, girl.
Do you hear what I say?
Because her baby's an infant, so her husband an infant too. He a damn child. If you think about it, he don't know nothing. Because I'm like, how did you not say we shouldn't do this? You know what I'm saying? You no, we can't go. Or at least my baby can't go. You go over there, get cut on up. If you make it back, I'll see you then. I'm like, I ain't going with you over there. But she's his paycheck. So he followed the money. I got to go where the money's at.
Pretty much. Speaking of where the money at, let's go and talk about Usher and these Usher books, honey. Okay. Usher went to a strip club. Well, let me say a stripper blasted Usher on social media for these Usher bucks that he had. So I guess that he threw Usher bucks at the club. The girl said that it has no trading value, it's fake money, and she was feeling away until I believe the strip club came out and spoke out against that and said that was not true, that was inaccurate. She actually pulled out thousands of dollars just to cash out on the strippers, and I'm like, well, I hope she got some of them thousands of dollars because sis is mad. It ain't his fault if you probably picked up the wrong dollars.
Wrong bag.
I'm gonna tell you what I think though. I think he was throwing out real money and fake money. It was like, okay, so from what she explained to me, it seemed like she was saying, why not go and get that money exchangeable for real money? So if they had picked up his money off of the floor, they could have went and took that in at night and cashed that in for real money. Instead, he was like paying for girls and stuff and buying bottles and paying a club and shit, but he was still throwing fake money along with the real money. And I think, when people are picking up money, they thinking they're picking up real money, and then come to find out some of that money is not real. I would have been mad too.
I think they said he was doing a promotional. What I heard was he was doing a promotional shoot for the residency, so that's why they had the buku amounts of the Usher money. But I feel like when she came out and said, well, I never said he didn't pay us money. When she said that, I knew she posted for attention, and she knew that for a fact, because it's funny that this happened and then like the same day it came out, you had 21 Savage and Chris Brown who had these Usher books, which means he's been doing promotion, and that was a part of that. So I feel like she knew that, and she knew, let me make it seem like he only paid us in this. They make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, I had to go through more than my regular tip out at the end of the day because of Usher. I feel like an artist going to a strip club to promote a residency makes sense because that's what people do in Vegas. But I didn't like how she made it seem like he went there on some fraud, fake money, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna pay y'all shit. Not some, it was a maybe a bad promotional stunt that they didn't execute the right way, you know, entirely. But I'm like, she made it seem like he just, you know, didn't pay them shit. And then when people, it was a backlash, oh, I didn't say this, I guess you did. You alluded to it.
Okay, so I just want to say this. Jay Lee is explaining that the girl came out and said she was on bullshit, right? You said she was on bullshit?
Yeah.
Either way, it's obvious she was on bullshit. But my point is, the way to have not even had that been an issue in the first fucking place was to have had the money, you know, like be switched out for other money is what I'm saying. I do realize that she was on bullshit, and I never thought that Usher was in there not throwing any money at all. Right. Like I didn't think that for a second, but I just thought that he was on that, you know, promoting, but not thinking about the fact that people were going to pick up pick up those dollars and think that, oh, I can cash this in for real money with the real money as well. It doesn't even matter. But I thought it was funny because we also saw people talking about how, you know, Usher used to steal clothes back in the day. Okay, and his wife would bring the clothes back, trying to switch them out. And some of this shit was earlier on in his career, and some of it was not. Like when they were talking about the wife coming back to the store and trying to switch, you know, bring the clothes back and all of that, I was just kind of like, something does feel like, you know, that's some asshole shit he would do. Like put the jacket on, dap you off, and then walk out the store. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I can see a lot of stylists. I don't know what role his wife played at the time in his life, but I could see them like probably
or which wife
taking stuff and then trying to go back and return it, just for like a photo shoot or a video shoot or something. But as far as the Usher books, I never thought that he was just throwing money. That just didn't sound like Usher. I just refused to believe that part.
Yeah, nah. I didn't think he was like out here not throwing, you know, any real money. I just thought that they were doing both. And it just kind of seemed like aggravation just so you can promote. And to be honest, would we have known about the promotion if the girl had not made a big deal about it?
That's why I said it was a reason Usher Bucks was even left in the club. But again, it could have been on purpose. I'm saying it was all promotion.
Yeah, I'm saying he could have been intentionally doing that because he know people would be like, "Oh, Usher being cheap." Saying,
yeah, and y'all keep in mind. Well, first, I anytime I talk about Usher, I have to make it clear that that's my first husband, Usher. So even though I'm engaged now, Usher was my first husband, and literally every time y'all don't understand when he married that first lady, I wasn't 18 yet. But then when he got a divorce, I was like, okay, it's my chance. Then he got married again. And now that he's divorced, I'm engaged. So I feel like the times just ain't lining up.
It's not right.
But
it is gonna come.
We'll see.
We can't because it's not gonna come because you're gonna be her wife ever.
Right.
Yeah, but I always tell my fiance if we ever run into Usher, like, well, now y'all know the other rumor about Usher. I don't want to get tied up with that rumor. The SCU.
A whole other Confessions album.
I want to say we know stylists. We know his wife was a stylist, and we know stylists bring clothes back, but they were banned from the store for funking the clothes up and him just walking out with the shit on and her trying to bring it back all funked up for dear God. Okay,
but I heard a lot of artists have done that. I've heard a lot of have done that before, and I feel like but it's weird because I'm like, if you're a store, you either want to allow them to take stuff to promote your stuff and know when it come back it's gonna be on some stank stuff, or you want them to be pristine. They ain't gonna do that. So I feel like if I was a store and I'm like, I can have Usher in my stuff as promotion. Take that outfit. Don't bring it back. Leave it be. I'm not going to say, oh, I let him wear outfit that they saw him in my stuff and he brought it back to go 30. Why would I want to sully his name? Because then he won't wear my stuff to give me more business. So I feel like I wouldn't say anything. Oh, take it. Keep it. Get the fucking home. Leave me be. Because I'm like, that's a part of promotion.
Paris said that celebs steal because they feel they don't have to pay for stuff. And to me, that is a part of what I think Usher does. Like, I think Usher's an asshole, to be honest. Like, I think Usher is like top-notch, stab after about a good month of dating him type of asshole. And, you know, he might be good in bed because he's been fucking since he was like 11. You know, there are so many things about Usher that give fuck nigga, you know, so fuck boy. And I just, you know, stab. It's something about the smile that makes me feel like Usher would make me want to stab him.
So I was saying that the last point I'm gonna make is, y'all remember this residency was announced before COVID. So he definitely did this for publicity. They never canceled the show. They never postponed it. They never did nothing. People kind of just forgot about it. So now they're trying to get the buzz back going that the residency is going on. They announced this in 2019.
I'm like, it's Usher. I think it's smart for some artists who do not need to make more music to do residencies. Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, Usher, Chris Brown, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. I think if they should just do rotating residencies, because then no one has to tour. It cuts down on traveling and COVID and stuff. You can have a stadium or a location that has enough space to have, you know, a little audience or whatever, but not too much. It makes complete sense. Like, I'm like, I don't need to. No one who was famous in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s needs to be making new music on a regular. Like, make what you want to make, yeah, but like, you don't need to be touring. Get you a Vegas residence or shit. Pick a state. Look, Bondi, buy a location in New Orleans, get you a building, and have people come down and do a residency in New Orleans. It should be, I also feel like they should do residencies other places besides Vegas and like New York. Pick other cities. Atlanta, Detroit, Texas, you know what I'm saying? Because that way people don't have to all travel to Vegas or to New York. You can travel to Detroit. Well, not Detroit, because that time would be crazy. But again, somewhere in one of our surrounding cities. Or, no, not Detroit, not that bad anymore. But again, I don't want to go to Vegas. I want to be able to go to New Orleans. That's a different thing. That then brings money into the other cities. But it's like, you know, do something besides touring from city to city, because that costs too much money. I would love to see Usher on one stage in one place for like 4 months. I would. And they can stream it for free.
True that. They could stream that. We're going to go ahead and talk about somebody else that got gooped. Gooped and scammed, I guess you could say. DJ Mustard, who took the social media to air out his alleged stylist, but he called her a shopper. He told everybody, do not call this lady no stylist. We just told her that so that we can help her find new clients or whatever in the area. That was the whole goal. But she stole money. I think he said it was like, what, $50,000, but it could be more. She spent up like $15,000 on Louis Vuitton or something like that. And he said he gives her like $6,000 to shop. Now, I don't know if he pays her $6,000 a month to shop for him, or if that was for her to spend for herself and he gives her a separate fee for her working for him. But either way, she ran up his credit card bill. He said it could be more than $50,000 because they're still looking at the receipts. I ain't really mad at him for airing her out. I know some people are like, oh, you got money, you can go back and get more money. But it's like, regardless of how much you make, it's like you work hard for your money. And if you look at, you ain't no telling who else he's looking out for. But if you're looking out for her, even calling her a stylist, even giving her extra money to go and shop or whatever, like, if I'm gonna do right by you, I want you to do right by me. And at the end of the day, it's my money, and you scammed me. So he aired her out, and he showed the text message where he said that she apologized, but that was really it. He's going to continue to air her out. What are y'all thoughts about it?
Paying her $6,000. He said he paid her $6,000 a month to shop for him. So that was her base pay. Right. So she was making.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Right. So she was getting $6,000 up separately, and then he would give her money to shop for him, like a credit card or whatever. And I feel two different ways. I feel like, one, she piece of shit, because that's your job. If you work at McDonald's, you can't be out here just get all the burgers for free. Like, you have to follow whatever the rules of your job. And even though you feel like I can shop, he ain't gonna miss it, that still makes you a fucked up individual. However, how do you allow someone to shop for you? You never look at the receipts. Who balancing your books? Because at the end of the day, it should all make sense. Like 2 + 2 has to be 4. I feel like rich folks need to stop being so trusting and not counting their money. I know you're a whole wealthy man, but I'm like, she should have never been able to do that for that long without not even his accountants realizing you do know you spending, all this and whatnot. Like, who looking at the receipt versus what was bought, and then the who pays the bill. So I feel like they have to be more smart about just checking their own work. Like, make sure she go out with the car and come back with 2 bags. Okay, the receipt said you spent $5,000 on these 5 items. Why is only 2 items in my bag? Like, I don't pay attention. I don't get how. Pay attention. I'm like, bitch, 50 grand? How she buy a whole whatever without you? Like, no one if I order from Taco Bell and my order is $18, you can't charge me, extra dollars. What's this for? Why I want my money back? It's too much money. I don't like how they just don't pay attention. She ain't shit for sure. But I'm like, also watch your bank, because that's how you can go broke. It's kind of crazy. Now y'all steal from our job. I don't steal from my job.
Nah.
Yeah, no.
Y'all steal from our job.
No, we don't all steal from my job.
I agree with you, Jaylee. I do think that they needed to check. I was sitting here today really trying to think, like, how could she pull that off? And the only thing I could think about is maybe by, doing 2 different transactions, having one receipt that's clean, another receipt for her actual purchase. And I'm trying to think, like, what $50,000 means to someone who's rich. If you really think about it, and I'm like really digging, because I'm like, how many swipes does it take to get to 50,000 when you're rich? It might not take that many swipes.
Right.
So I want to know how long she's been doing it. But I agree. I'm with you. You should be checking. Good thing that she did, because this may not have been going on for too long. It could have been $100,000. But I don't think he's wrong for exposing her, because if you call this your profession and he's paying you, I guess, okay, he's paying you okay to shop for him. It ain't like you doing hard work. I think you should be exposed, because you can't be handling people's money for taking that, like, 50,000.
Right.
And that was like on like 1 or 2 receipts. That wasn't even like the whole whatever else. It could be more.
Yes, it made me think about that one twin. You remember the twins that changed their face, the scammers, bad girls?
Yeah, the Claremont twins.
Oh, Claremont twins.
Claremont. Yes. Remember, one of them was dating that man that died. They paid the rent, took something else from him too. But yeah, she should be exposed just like them.
They talking about 100 of these comments about stuff from their job is funny.
I agree. Trust nobody. I honestly feel like I would not have given her access to something that wasn't exclusively for that. That way, if she overcharged it, it would run out of money on her ass. Absolutely. Instead of her being able to continue to charge a card with some type of endless, amount of money on it. So I do feel like it's it's your responsibility to make sure that people not stealing from you. Like, you got to check your own money. It don't matter how much money you have. So that's on some bullshit. But I do feel like if you're going to steal from somebody, you deserve to get put on blast. It reminded me of Paris from Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you swore up and down it was just $50. No, bitch. You can't steal from somebody and then tell them how to feel about it. You still stole, bitch. You still stole. Absolutely. Okay, now it's a difference when you stealing toilet paper and all of that, but stealing actual cash out the register, that's a problem.
That's different.
That's the issue. Okay, now y'all know y'all stealing from Walmart. We're not really mad at y'all. That's a corporation, but I still need for y'all not to steal, because people will find y'all and y'all will get fired and they will call the police on y'all. They made it seem like I stole from the register when I used to work at this ice cream place called Cold Stone. And I used to love them too. And it ruined them for me, because I worked there when I was in high school right after Katrina, and they accused me of stealing. And I guess they thought they was fucking with some, New Orleans girl who didn't have a daddy or something like that. Because they had the police waiting on me and everything when I got to work. When I called my dad, I said, "Dad, they acting like I stole you know, like money from the they said it looked like you put the money in your pocket when you went to put it in the register. I said, what? I said, let me see it. They wouldn't let me see it. So my daddy got on the phone with the police officer and said, you better have evidence that she did something, because if you don't have evidence that she did something, I'm gonna sue the fuck out of you and everybody over there. And then it was like, oh well, you can just go ahead and go home and just don't come back, and you can't come back to this store anymore. And that was right after Katrina. So that was kind of traumatizing for me. And I liked that job. And like, it was annoying because like I used to buy ice cream from them all the time. Like, and it was like, hi, you owe me money and you want to sit up here acting like I'm stealing from your fucking register $8. I even told him, I said, if I needed something, I'd ask my daddy for it. I don't need to steal nothing from you. Like, they had me fucked up. But you know, it ended up just kind of going away all of a sudden. Like, I thought I really stole something.
You be full of shit.
See how they be trying to do you?
Kim K
stole Randy the exact same way when she was her stylist. Goes to
I feel like a lot of people do that. But we heard people do that before too. We know that they be stealing stuff.
Ooh. Sued for allegedly spending over $120,000 on Sonia Norwood's credit card. Ooh. Call them hoes out.
Major news one day.
Call them hoes out.
I ain't get that amount. That's a lot of money.
I believe it too. I could have. Yeah, I believe it. I know they said Kim. That's how she got to Ray J, right? She was a stylist at one point.
Yeah, she worked for them.
Can't nobody get over on me. I'm not. I count every penny because I don't. Because you know sometimes people be, you know what I'm saying, scamming, and you never know. Like you can pay with your credit card at a place, and then they can copy. You leave, they didn't buy other shit. So I'm looking like, no, I have all my cards that show me like if I don't scan my own card, it notifies me. If I'm like, I don't have time for, you know what I'm saying, I get home, somebody spent 50 grand, none of my cards. It's like, no. So I would never allow it to get to a point where I'm having someone shop. Even if I was rich, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't want someone shopping for me. And now I'm at least that I need a receipt to see what you spent. And I can then call my card, come and see, okay, that was what was spent. I just like checks and balances.
Speaking of checks and balances and exposing, Portia took to her IG Live today, the same day that the Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer dropped. She decided that she wanted to clear up some things as it pertains to Black Lives Matter, Candy, Kenya, and everything. Jay Lee, do you remember everything that was said? I know she talked about having a conversation with Nene about wanting to do something with Black Lives Matter, saying that Kenya was not aware of it because she wasn't a part of that actual conversation, and Candy going off on her own trying to have something dealing with Black Lives Matter and not telling the girls but telling the networks, which is where the friction came in between she and Portia.
Yeah, Portia was really just clearing the air because we know that Kenya all season has been saying how there was just disagreement, fight, or whatever between Candy and Portia, but Kenya made it seem as if Portia was trying to purposely block Candy from doing something Black Lives Matter-ish on the network. And Portia's point was, that's not what happened. We all want to do something together as a collective. And Candy on her own went to Bravo to suggest something. And that was the disagreement, if nothing else. And how someone said that Portia and Nene were talking shit about Candy for that reason, and that's not what happened. And she had her text messages printed out showing what was said, and the gist of it was Kenya's full of shit. Like there was a disagreement about it, but it wasn't as if her saying that Portia tried to block Candy wasn't factual, and how they had a big blowout wasn't factual. It was more of a Candy assumed something that wasn't true. Her and Portia talked about it, and that was really it. And then Candy's, the panel they had on Bravo for the Black Lives Matter stuff, that was Candy's idea to the execs or whatever. That's what they wanted them all to bring to them, but Candy herself. And she brought up how I was on the panel. So me and Candy had already discussed what it was, but Kenya going around saying like, well, Portia blocked this and blocked that. That wasn't true. Kenya's full of shit, and Kenya's messy as fuck. And I feel like when Portia said, you know, if I wanted to be about the show, I would be on the show saying what happened. I'm not going to be on the show fussing with a Black woman about Black Lives Matter at a time like this. I think Kenya not understanding that shows me Kenya not for us. She may look like us. She may be beautiful like us, but Kenya has never, in my opinion, and Portia said, like, Kenya has never put anything before herself. She won't put this before herself. She puts everything behind her, and she has to be first. And I like that Portia explained it and made it. She said, you know, it was a misunderstanding, and Kenya's full of shit.
It sounds like Kenya just ran with something because she didn't have all of the information. So I can understand why people may feel like she full of shit because she ain't have everything. Because Portia did say she wasn't even in that overall group text to really know what all was happening. But I wish Portia would have kind of spoke on it sooner when the conversations were happening a long time ago versus now, because now people are like, well, why do you want to speak on it now when it's the day that the reunion drops? Or at least the trailer.
Well, no, what she did say was, she said something like, you know, Kenya has been doing all these interviews recently where she's making it seem as if I'm trying to block her from talking about it. And she keep making it seem as if this, and I don't follow Kenya on social media because I don't like Kenya. So I don't follow that. But I feel like I have heard of her doing a lot of interviews. So she said it was because Kenya kept going to different, you know, this and that.
It was a Bravo thing too. There was like a interview that went out today, like some type of Bravo write-up that went out this morning, and it was like another time where they were talking about that situation. So that's why she went live today, because something actually came out this morning. Yeah, the Vulture article dropped today. There you go.
Oh, of all the housewives. Okay.
I hadn't seen that. More than anything, to me, I feel like this low-key got me looking at Kandi crazy. I really thought that Kandi was against billing Kenya. In my mind, I reasoned that the only reason why Kandi hung with Kenya is because Kenya has to be a different person when the cameras aren't around. But this whole situation is showing me otherwise. And it takes me back to whenever Nene used to say that Kandi had so much pull and Kandi had this and Kandi had that. And everybody was thinking that Nene was saying that because she was jealous, which I'm sure is true. It's a combination of things. But Kandi does have, I don't know, Kandi should have spoke up on that. You're allowing your friend to troll, and it shows me that Kandi is still holding grudges. And I feel like that's the only reason why she didn't speak up. So in her opinion, she won't participate in, you know, being a bully or playing mean with Portia. But if the stuff flies, Kandi's like, I'm gonna let it fly. Because I feel like she's probably still holding on. Kenya will be Kenya. Kenya will be the villain. But it's like, Kandi, you could have clarified that. Why are you allowing Kenya to use your story as a way to make somebody else look bad?
Yeah, I do look at Kandi sideways from just not, because Portia said in her video, I wish Kandi would have cleared this up sooner. Because again, at least what was between Kandi and Portia, Kandi could have cleared up by saying it wasn't like a real beef, but she felt like Kandi let it go on for longer than it could until she cleared it up or whatever. So I do agree to see, like, it do make, and I'm a fan of Kandi. I think Kandi's a smart woman. She's great in business or whatever. She's never, in my opinion, came off too messy. Like, she's been messy-ish, you know, here and there. But to me, this seems like you're helping do Kenya's dirt by even not saying shit. So you want to make us feel as if you try to stay neutral, but in staying silent, you actually help help Kenya's narrative go further. So I'm like, Kandi, what the fuck are you doing?
Absolutely.
I agree with that. But I asked that question when I saw the speak on it with Karma and Don Juan, because I feel like Karma said something about how I'm going, you know, not like somebody that messes over my friend until my friend says otherwise. And when she said that, it made me feel like Kandi has never really probably let things go behind the scenes, which is why, you know, Karma feels the way she does about Portia, because she don't see it for Portia at all. When I watched that speak on it, I was like, damn, she really like do not like Portia at all. Not to say that she doesn't have a reason to, but just that it's still at that level. Like it was obviously at a certain level, and she obviously feels a certain way about Kenya, because they were like, you know, I really love Kenya and Kenya's cool. And I feel like we've known ever since Kenya was off the show that season that she is a different person when she isn't on the show. But I still feel like when she came back on the show, that shit she did with Tanya Sam last year, that showed me that she was still on that same bullshit, regardless of having a man, regardless of having a baby. And I felt like that's just some shit I don't care about, y'all acting like we on the show, so it's okay. No, I don't give a fuck. That shit is not cool, what she did to that girl. And I thought it was for no reason. It'd be different if the girl did something to her, but the girl didn't even do nothing to her. We're talking about a fucking wig and you overreacting. So yeah, no, I do feel like Kenya it is on bullshit. It's often on bullshit. I agree with Portia feeling like I don't want us on Real Housewives of Atlanta arguing about Black Lives Matter, because that looks bad. That looks like we're trivializing a very serious issue so that it can be reality show fodder when this is a life or death situation for our people. So I do understand Portia going to the executives and using her own weight and her own power to say, hey, I don't think this is a good look. This is not what we're trying to portray when it comes to Black Lives Matter. The executives agreed with her and they decided to take that portion of the argument out of the show. So Kenya acting like they were doing it to protect Portia, I feel like they were doing it to protect all of y'all, just like they did when they cut out what you said at the beginning of the season. Y'all remember when she was questioning Portia and they cut that shit out? It was in the preview, but it wasn't in the actual episode. They cut it out because it does not look good in any capacity for you to make mess of something that is so serious, period. So I agree, and I do feel like Kandi is being passive aggressive with Portia because she knows that the public does not want to see her and Portia continue to fight. We like to see when they giggle and get along with one another. So that's what Kandi is going to give us on the show. But behind the scenes, I still think she feels the way she felt, and I can't exactly be mad at her about that. So it's just kind of like, well, this is just where we at with it. Oh, well, until y'all give us another set of girls, this is the bullshit we're going to be dealing with. Dungeon part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Right.
Thank you, Toby, for the super chat. He says, happy ladies. Happy ladies. Hey, ladies. I'm saying happy ladies. We are happy. Hey, ladies. I'm kind of over the ATL ladies and the flip-flopping friendships. I'm ready for season 2 of Saltwise. Aren't we all? Right. As far as Kandi, real quick, I was going to say that I was looking at Kandi shaky, too, because of her not speaking up, her not saying anything for a while. When you guys said that she's being passive aggressive throughout the season or whatever, I didn't even think about it like that. I just felt as though she was actually protecting Portia because she was the one not coming out and saying anything when she could have said something. So those are my thoughts about Kandi. But I will say I am glad that Portia has made it all make sense, because I definitely started to fall back on Portia on some stuff. I'm like, why is she taking this out and why is she doing this and why is she doing that? But as she broke down the overall situation, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I wouldn't want to be seen on TV arguing with another woman on this platform about Black Lives Matter, you know, so especially with where she is with it. So I can't fault her on that. I'm glad that she came out. I just kind of wish she would have came out sooner.
And she was even bigging up Kandi. Like, it wasn't as if she was down in Kandi. As she was saying what happened, she kept saying how proud she is of Kandi, how much she wants to still, you know, work with Kandi, whatever, and how whenever Kandi has whatever going on, she wants to support. My thing is, it do seem as if Portia is not coming from a I'm mad at Kandi space, because she still wants to be with Kandi. Her point was things are bigger than the bullshit that Kenya's trying to spin. Her issue isn't even with Kandi, even though she did mention I wish Kandi was spoke up sooner. Her whole main issue was Kenya is trying to put a narrative that isn't true. And when you are trying to move forward with getting things to be better for Black people, you should not be trying to do that at all. And that was her point. Like, I don't want people to feel as if her issue was with Kandi. Her issue isn't even with Kenya. It's with Kenya's actions. And I think if people will let go of Portia versus Candy from 4 years ago, and how Candy can have a whatever. I hear some comments going on, but I feel like Portia's point wasn't even there. Her point was, we should not be on here fussing about Black Lives Matter, but Kenya tried to make that happen, and that's the issue.
Gotcha. Before we move on to the next thing, guys, I see we have over 500 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you could just do us a favor and just like the video, please. Like the video, please. Thank you.
It's free. It's easy. It's one little poke. Boom. Okay. Boom. So I do.
Quick, boop, and we can just go and get back to the business. Okay. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So let's move on to Married to Medicine. We done moved off of the Real Housewives, and we about to go and get into Married to Medicine. Not a lot happened on Married to Medicine.
It was so boring to me.
It was pretty dry. You thought it was good, Delilah?
No, I thought it was boring.
Oh yeah,
I was bored.
The past 2 or 3 episodes, I was more entertained with Funky's review talking about what really happened.
Oh,
I don't know. Well, he brought up how on at the crystal party, he said that Contessa and Anila kind of got into it.
Yeah, how the mama thing again.
Yeah, so they was actually fussing. He's like, he don't know why they didn't show any of that on the actual episode
because they don't want Anila to look bad.
It's not that I don't like Anila Nyla. I just feel like she's trying to. I don't know her name. She's trying to be a reality star, and I don't like it's too soon for you to try to follow the typical, flow of things on how you are like 5 seasons in. Like, you brand new, calm down, ease your way in it. Don't come in like, okay, I'm gonna make a fight with her, blame her for fighting my mama, and I'm like, well, that didn't happen. So I like that he said what really happened, because it gave us more of an insight into it wasn't actually that boring. It was actually kind of entertaining.
I don't know what the hell the producers are doing.
Girl, they must be drunk.
I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they not doing their job right. For me personally, felt like the episode was boring. The only thing I want to say that was the main topic of conversation for me was Contessa coming out of the closet and us admitting that Scott looked good.
She did not come out the closet.
Talk about this. Honestly, when I watched that scene, I was like, Bondi, I can't wait for Bondi to talk about this.
Oh yeah, that titty came out. And when I tell you, me and my husband were sitting right here, and he was like, babe, you called it. Like, how your titty just fly out in the scene with the niece that you keep calling on. You know what I'm saying? After Bondi already.
Our relationship. This ain't our relationship. It's not.
Is it not?
That's funny.
You know you want that girl. I really do feel like that about Contessa. But Anila is gonna work on my nerves. Another thing is that Scott had on a black shirt that Scrappy and Lyric both had. So I was just kind of like, yeah, Scott probably got some side piece out here that's got him dressing all young, because he looked good.
Think so?
Yes, I'm gonna tell y'all, the previous seasons, I feel like he always had scrubs on or looked, like I wouldn't be trying to fuck with him. But when she said that, I started paying attention. When they went play golf and he got, he was going inside to go and play golf, I said, look at this nigga pectoral muscles. He ain't got no stomach. He is in shape. That shirt is nice, like nicely fitted and sized on his shoulders. Oh, look at his shoulders. And he ain't got no belly or nothing like that. I was just like, oh no, like the shirt was too current. Old ass men don't shop current. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, yeah, no, he looked like he got him an old lady out here in the street somewhere that's got him up and young. And,
but we do know she said in the preview that, it was the preview do show her saying or them talking about Scott and Contessa with cheating rumors. So we know what's coming up down the pipeline. We don't know when.
You could see it.
But they've been fussing for years. They've always had weird, I don't think they're happy, but they're together anyway vibes to me. I've always felt like they gonna break up in a season or two. Like every season I felt like they're getting closer and closer to because neither one of them seems happy together.
No, they don't.
Because one or the other one isn't happy about something. It's like even when Scott is happy with Contessa, she ain't happy. And if she happy, he ain't happy. They never happy at the same time together. So I'm like, they're gonna break up eventually. But honey, I don't want to cheat. Don't cheat and do it now. Just leave her.
It sounded like she wanted him to be out here, so they would have reason to break up. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Even if he,
I can't joke about that.
He wanted him for the streets.
I'm gonna tell y'all, they got them little kids. Cheating is easier than leaving.
Okay.
Let me just go get this little thing right quick, and I'm gonna come right back, and I'll be there for the kids to help them with their homework. Like Marcel Hope. But less disrespectful.
Embarrassing.
Listen, I'm not surprised at all, y'all. I can just tell by looking at it. And then what else happened? Jackie and Simone bitch asses made up, girl.
It was too easy for that. I know y'all kept on saying before how, why didn't Simone and Jackie talk before Simone and Heavenly talk? And I kept thinking, because it has to be this long, drawn out conversation. And it was like a little 5 minute, I love you, you love me, let's be happy together. And that's it. I'm like, that's all y'all gonna do? Y'all could have been talked. But Funky said in his video that, they still not back good. So, I mean, maybe they do need more talking. But I was like, that's it. That's y'all conversation. But I think this season is weirdly, it's like they're airing off-air footage, stuff that we don't really care about, but they showing us anyway. I'm like, I don't like, nothing kind of even meshes well. Like, how do we not discuss the fallout from Heavenly and Anila and Toya fussing? Like, how do we not at least address the aftermath of that? Like, how do we not because you can't tell me Toya didn't tell Eugene or that Heavenly didn't tell Damon. Like, how do we not follow up with what happened after that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that part was I was like, y'all boring me. I was tired. I was sleepy. Getting my nerves.
I hate that by the time it gets good, Quad's probably going to be back. And I hate for it to be a situation where it's like, the show's only good because Quad's back. It's like, no, the show not good because y'all got bad producers and y'all need some new people. We didn't need these recycled friends, Lisa and Miss Carrie. And Lisa knows she only pops when Quad is on the TV.
Let me tell you something.
Your lesbian relationship. I love that little rent free in my head forever.
I laughed so hard when Carrie walked in and Heavenly started doing her cackle.
That giggle. That's when you know she really in her bag and she don't like. And that's a real Heavenly telltale sign of her being her real self.
Yeah,
not the fake calm one. It's like, no, that's the real Heavenly.
Girl, when I tell y'all, I laughed so hard for the longest time. I think I might have rewinded like 3 times because I was like, what the fuck is she laughing at?
Because she said on her review that she said because Carrie had on like that body dress. She had on a bodysuit and heels.
Yes.
Heavenly was like, she walked in with a bodysuit and heels. And I couldn't stop laughing. Girl.
It was hilarious.
I also like when not Quad, Lord, they was talking about Quad when Funky and Heavenly was in the car and he was saying he wished Quad was there, and they did the post of they showed when Quad was showing her butt and how Heavenly got in the comments and got dragged by Quad. I just thought that was so funny. It just took me back to that moment. It was just so
Heavenly said they edited that because Funky was saying shit about Quad too, and they didn't play it. And then Funky said in his video that Heavenly has said more stuff too that was edited out. So supposedly they both were saying other things, but Heavenly still say that when she put the ooh face, it wasn't like ooh, nasty. It was like ooh, like look like you look good or whatever. And she said when she did talk to Quad said on her phone it looked like she put like her nose up like stink, and that's why she was mad. But I feel like we all know Quad got her body done in some way, shape, or form. Quad has had things done to her body. It may not be an actual surgery, even if it's just some fat transfer or whatever like that. That ain't season 1 booty. it isn't. And that also isn't a working out booty. It just isn't. Like it looks like you added something to it, and it doesn't look bad, but it's weird that she tries to make it.
Let me go look, because I don't even know what it looked like. Let me go look.
Look at season 1 booty, and then on the beach booty.
Her ass, literally, because literally, I always struggle saying that word, but I want to say that word all the time. I don't know why.
With ass.
No, literally. I always I always say that, but I'm always like really did show her ass, because her and Heavenly was just cool 2 episodes ago, and as soon as somebody sent you a funny emoji, you was ready to turn up, girl.
And that's what was crazy to me. Funky but Heavenly said that was an issue.
Funky Dineva has said before that Quad is very funny acting. Like, she one of them people where you say the smallest thing to her, and not all of a sudden she pissed off, you hurt her feelings, she mad, and you know she not talking to you, and you like, bitch, what did I say to you? You know. So I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm looking at her butt cheeks, and they do look funny looking.
She got a little work done, and it ain't look. It's fine, but it's how she tried to play. Because even Heavenly, we know she had work done, but they've always said every housewife in some way has had something done. Like how Kenya had her boob done, and we didn't even know in between that she had the production because she didn't say she was on the show. So I feel like we know.
Breast reduction.
It was on the last episode.
Yeah, she did on the last episode.
Oh, God. I did not watch the last episode.
Yeah, she had a boob during COVID. She had a breast reduction or reduction of lift. So we know all housewives has had, little titty done here, little face done there, little this, little that, and it's not a big deal. I think the way that it becomes a big deal is when you try to make it seem as if my body's all net. It's like, but it's not. Like it's just not. You look great, but it isn't. But I don't want Quad to come in and they're like, oh, no, it was great. I'm like, no. It's cool. To me, Quad is entertaining when she's either shading someone or fussing. But regular Quad is boring. So I also feel like Quad makes issues. Sensitive. Yeah, she makes issues because then she has a reason to be Quad or whatever. But I feel like if she come back and she not beefing nobody, it's going to be still boring.
I can believe that. I'm just not interested in having her on the show.
But me either.
For what?
Only to argue with Lisa Nicole, only to send her back to where she came from. Yikes.
And we don't even need that
at all.
Because we don't see Quad's house. Every bit that she's done has failed. I feel like Quad, isn't even who she puts herself up to be. The show she was on got canceled. Pedal by Pooch is gone. Like, what does Quad do besides say she's Quad?
And what happened with her allegedly adopting that kid?
Girl, that went down with her booty. I don't know. We don't even we don't know nothing about Quad.
That story. But I'll say this as far as the Married to Medicine, I'm okay with them removing Toya and Delilah and making them friends of the show and giving us 2 other new Black lady doctors. And
I don't mind that.
Used to hearing about, some other type of, I don't know, orthopedic surgeon or something like that. We probably would never know a Black woman to be.
I agree with that. Because Toya don't do shit.
She don't.
Honey, Heavenly either on the show or on review that she did. She put it was on her review. She said Toya don't do shit. She said, but Toya was smart and she got her a man that worked, pay the bills, that would come home and cook the food and also watch the kids. She's like, Quiet. Toya don't do shit. Eugene does it all. And she said at home, I'm like, damn, that's true. If you think about it, she don't have no charities. She don't have no foundations. She don't have no nothing. And she complained about having she just don't really do much. Even the boys, when we see her with them, she's usually complaining that she has to, do this and do that. And I kept saying, you are a wealthy-ish woman in a big-ass mansion with 2 kids who are old enough you can leave them alone for an hour and they won't die. They won't burn out. Like, you can leave them to themselves and they'll be okay. Like, they got 3 and 4, but they like, 10, whatever age they are. But you should not complain that much when you don't have nothing else to do. Your house can't even get that dirty. It's just y'all that's at home. Like so it's weird. I agree with Jamie. Like, they can replace Toya. I think if they get rid of Toya, Anila might not be as bad. I think she's that bad because of things that Toya has made her think is how things go. Like, I feel like she said on White Apple's Live, Anila did, that she didn't know the bullshit between Contessa and Toya was more than just that shoe shit. Because that's all that Toya only brought up the shoe shit, not all the stuff from before. She said she wished she would have not gotten involved because she didn't know all the other stuff. So I feel like Toya has made her feel like, okay, our issue is just this. Because this is something that I can have you say something about. And I'm like, that's Toya. She wants someone to see her warped way of seeing things. So of course, Contessa's bad because she took her shoes off.
I still think Anila's gonna be terrible even if Toya leaves, because she's still giving me Toya vibes as far as how she is with her husband. So as far as Toya's personality, she's probably not too far from behind the corner with that. So they both can, like, they can be on the show. They just need to be removed as main cast members and make them friends of the show.
They can be recycled friends.
There we go. Okay, you brought your recycled friends on. Only to be recycled. I
agree.
Yikes.
Agreed.
And we're gonna go ahead and move on with that one, and let's talk about Delilah.
So much to talk about. So much to talk about. Be so upset. This episode was like, ugh. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
It was like, I'm gonna try to run through. Y'all hop in, but I have a lot of stuff because I'm gonna end up speaking on everything. So Delilah, she goes to jail. She got arrested. She gets out. You got Mace. Is it Mace or Macy? He's at the house with the kids. Demetria had to come and get her out. Demetria lets her know, like, hey, your dad said that he's going to take a step back because he didn't want any, I guess, friction that happened on her end or his end with him being a police officer. She want to throw a fit about that and complain, he hasn't had my back in this long and this and that. And Demetria's like, well, wait a minute. He gave me this form, this USB or whatever to give you, because they actually ended up finding Leah's laptop, which actually was in her apartment complex. She never reported that it was actually stolen. So he decided to go ahead and scrape the hard drive and give you that information. And that's when she wanted to be like, oh, okay, well, good. I appreciate that. And then you have Gordon with his student. Okay. He wanted his student to move in. She didn't want to move in. He wanted her to move in, and then allowed this lady to meet the kids against the will of Delilah. So Delilah didn't like that at all. You have Tam. Tam, of course, she's checking on Delilah. Tam is feeling away because when Delilah was locked up, Delilah never reached out to her to see if she could sit with the kids. Instead, she called Mace and then said that it was easier for him to do it than her. So now Tim is starting to see that their friendship is growing further and further apart due to this particular case. But what I loved was when they talked about the case, Delilah said she didn't tell Tam about the case because she didn't want her to use it against her and have the evidence removed from the case. But I love how Tam pretty much told her, like, girl, I have a duty to my client. So if it came down to it, I'm going to do what's in the best interest for my client, and you as an attorney should understand that. So I'm going to stop there and let y'all hop in before I go run down this list. What are your thoughts so far?
Last week when we were talking about this show, I was like, something happened and I can't remember what it was. Y'all hear that clicking?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So I couldn't remember what it was the episode before. And then when I watched this episode, I thought about it. So something was very telling about Tamara's character. She told Delilah, there's no point in being married to a man of high position if you aren't going to use it. So that made me think about where her logic laid. It's like, I'm going to get this case done by any means necessary, which isn't wrong. So I really just had to get that out of my brain. The other thing that I really liked was how the daughter peeped that the father's girlfriend was his student. She was like, okay, she's cool, but that's how you know him. So I like that she picked up on that. And then, what was the other thing? You didn't get into the other stuff, right? You didn't get in Jane Doe, did you? No? Okay. All right. That's all I got to say for now.
Okay. If you guys want to hop in, that's fine.
I was going to say, the daughter and the student, I do think the daddy ain't. You said that right? Because I'm looking at the notes. I'm trying to be trying to go too fast, but I don't like that he wants the daughter and the son to like the girlfriend. I feel like it's unfair to make them feel as if it's their job to like who you likes. At the end of the day, if they don't like her just yet, give them time to get there. Like, this is their first time meeting her. When he said to the daughter, like, you know, to respect me is to, like, how you work, like, to respect me is to respect her. I felt like that showed that you're putting your girlfriend's acceptance over your children's acceptance of it. Like, kids won't, and she fucked up the life. You're like, even if you and the wife was on bad terms, like, that was a nail in the coffin, and you back with her and you got it in her face. I feel as if once the daughter said, I don't like her, okay, that's fine. You can, you know, meet her later on when you feel more comfortable. I'm like, making her feel as if, no, she has to do that. It pissed me off. I feel like, you know, that's gonna make her feel as if daddy gonna like somebody else over me. He cared about her more than he cared about me. So that made me mad.
Yeah, I think that's what men do, though. I think he's playing a stereotypical, you know, I cheated on my wife with some younger woman because I really didn't want to be with my wife anymore. And now I'm trying to be with the younger woman, and my daughter found out. And, you know, it creates all of this muddiness, basically, for him moving forward. And it's just what it is. It's what he has to deal with. I honestly feel like the daughter is going to have a push back and pull with this, you know, back and forth with this situation. And I want to see if his girlfriend is actually going to be able to withstand it, because this is what you wanted. So once them kids are around you and making you feel like shit, you know, I'm wondering how she's going to feel, because she pushed for this, right? Also, I'm not mad at the way he handled Delilah, because it's like, why would you call anybody except me to watch my fucking kids? Like, honestly, when I realized she had called another man to watch her children, it made me feel away. Because I was like, if this was anybody but Delilah, we would like be like, bitch, why would you ask somebody that's not their daddy, another man, to watch your children when you have, you know, a girl child and you have your two younger sons? Well, you know, your nephew and your son. But still, I just would never. I don't know. It just would seem more appropriate to call the daddy or to call somebody in a family than to call a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. I think Delilah being mad at her dad, I want to get to the bottom of that. Like, what actually really took place in the history of that, because it's like way too much animosity, and he does seem to like love her. So I want to know what happened there. Let me know when we get into the brother, because I want somebody to roll the brother down some stairs.
He's next. Real quick, just want to say thank you for the super chat. Jay Wilson, just sending love from Austin, Texas. I prefer Cash App, though. Y'all all beautiful Black queens with great personalities. I wanted to ask some questions, too. Well, put it down in the chat. We may get to it. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover tonight. So hopefully, you know, one of the ladies, between myself and the ladies, we may see it. And pull it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Andre. So Andre is at, so the brother, so Andre is the dude, because I feel like I'm mixing up the names. Nate is the brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. So Nate is in the hospital, and then Andre comes by to give him the divorce papers from the wife. What kind of mother? What the fuck? Who does that? Okay.
I was like the balls.
Say what, y'all?
The balls, the
balls of it all.
You've been served.
I was just shocked, and you know what? I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit. When she come get that little boy, that makes me think she's really gonna take this little boy and she's gonna run off on the plug twice. That's what I think. I think she's probably gonna I think Nate's gonna have a hard time probably getting his son after that. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, unless I missed something.
I don't know why she want him.
I don't
been avoiding for 6 months. It's
so
weird.
Surprised. I was like, did she really show up to get him like she wanted him, when all this time it's like she didn't want to be bothered with her own fucking son? Like, don't come over here, you know, acting like now you want to be bothered with the little boy. I was worried, because I'm like, are you gonna be dropping him off again next week when you're tired of him because he's being a little boy again, bitch? Then the friend. First of all, Nate is an idiot. I'm tired of him. And that's why I said I want somebody to roll him down some stairs into the street. Because I'm tired of him being stupid. I'm tired of him caring more about that bitch than he does about his son. I'm tired of him being the brunt of this when Delilah has warned him so many times about, you know, what's going on with the wife and with the friend allegedly, and now he's dropping off divorce papers to you, and you laying there looking like a fucking bitch, like you don't know what's going on. And then in the whole custody thing, you don't want to fight for custody of your son, you don't want to keep him away from his mom. Okay, fine, but bitch, I need her to really be a parent. Oh my God, that worked on my nerves this episode, y'all.
I just don't want them to depend on Delilah when things go wrong. I feel like if Nate wants to be like, okay, let her be a mom, okay, fine. So Nate, when she want to stop being a mom, you figure it out. Don't call me to figure it out if you don't want to fight for him now. Because the son don't, because she went to Christine like, hey, when do you want to be a mama? And she had nothing to say. And now her head down, she's unwrapped her hair, put clothes on. And I'm like, for what? I feel like she wants to be this fake family with Andre. And she wants Andre to feel as if, you know, she's over Nate. So let me act as if, okay, I'm going to really move on with you. I don't get it. And, you know, for Nate to make it seem as if, well, I can't stop her from being a mom. She hasn't been a mom for 6 months. Why trust someone who has been lying to you, fucking your friend in your house, and not being there for your child? Why would you then just say, okay, yeah, take him? No, bitch. Get Delilah, do whatever you can to keep my child out her grips, because she ain't right. So I don't like that. He dumb. But at the same time, maybe he dealing with shit because his legs fucked up. I don't know. But I feel like he makes all the wrong decisions right now. And I don't get, like, has he always been dumb? Or is it just now that he's dumb?
Didn't she tell him she didn't want him to go over there? He went over there anyway, and that's what happened to him. So it sounds like he constantly makes bad decisions.
Been dumb his whole life.
I feel like he get what he get. Like he deserves whatever happens.
Yeah, but I also feel, well, yes, I can understand the lady not wanting to be with him after he didn't came back, you know, disabled. After she didn't ask you not to go. I understand that, but the part I can't get with is her not wanting to be a mom. And logically, the only reason why I see her even wanting to get the son back is so she won't have to pay child support on him, because you've already served divorce papers, and now that you've served the legal proceedings, you know that could potentially come next.
Interesting.
Fuck Christine.
Period. Let's move on to Delilah. So Delilah and her team try to sit down with Leah regarding her case. I believe they're trying to do a prep or something, but during this conversation, they feel like her case is being sabotaged by Osborne. We also go on to Demetria wanting to know more about Jane Doe. And she later finds out exactly who Jane Doe is. And she was trying to get, I forgot the girl's name, but the assistant to give her some information and do some research. The girl was like, yeah. And then she said, well, I actually want research on a particular case regarding Jane Doe. Harper. That's it. Harper. Yeah, she was trying to get Harper to do research on some information dealing with Jane Doe. That's when Harper said that she's a little too busy. So they had a spick and spat, and that's when Demetria lets Harper know, like, I know you went to law school. Next thing you know, we see Harper having a conversation with Delilah. She's upset because now this young lady knows that she went to law school and she don't like nobody knowing her business like that. And that's when it came out and it was exposed that Harper is indeed Jane Doe. Did one of y'all mention that? Y'all said y'all wanted to chime in on that, or y'all want me to keep going?
I will say for Harper and ground her name, new assistant, old assistant, I feel like they made it clear that she was talking about, Jane Doe from her interview point. Like, she kept mentioning it then. So when Delilah and Harper talked, I feel like Delilah should not have let any information out about Harper in the past, because if she's a secret, let it be that. I don't think it was any ill intent in doing it, but I don't like how new assistant is just so nosy. Like, she doesn't have a stop button, and I feel like she don't have these cues that show, like, look, you're aggravating me, you should stop. And it's like, Harper to me isn't rude. She's like, you're aggravating me, so stop. She's giving all of those, QQ signs, and she's just ignoring them, and she keeps going, you should be a lawyer. I'm like, she just told you, leave me alone, and you kept poke. So I felt like when she said that, it was like, you keep fucking with me, you keep pushing me. This is why I keep telling you I can't do shit about Jane Doe, because I am Jane Doe. But I feel like stop poking at people because you feel as if you know better for them. You feel like I should just encourage her. She don't need your encouragement. And the fact that, you know, you now know she's dealing with the fact that she was arrested, put in a mental place because the cops just thought she did not, you know, could not afford that car. And so she had trauma from that. So like you never know what someone's going through, but I feel like we know new assistant is also going through something behind closed doors that she said, you know, I got my baggage too. I don't bring it to work. But that shows people handle their baggage in different ways. You kept poking her baggage. She don't know yours. You kept bringing up her baggage. So that's why she snapped.
I also feel like a new assistant is aggy as fuck. Like, I think when she first got there, it was like, oh, I'm trying to get this job, you know? And now I think now that she knows that Harper didn't finish law school, she was trying to sun her. Like, I think you should go back and you would be so great. It's like, bitch, you had to try to get a job here and I already work here. Now you're trying to sun me because you found out that I didn't finish school. So I almost felt like she was prying really to make her feel bad about the fact that she didn't finish school. And when it's put on the table what actually happened, now, you know, you want to feel bad. So I wasn't exactly upset with Harper, but I also feel like Harper has also been very difficult throughout the process. Like, she is vying for, you know, I guess control of the assistants. Like, I don't even fucking know, but I do feel like Harper has been giving old girl energy, but I think old girl has been giving her that energy right back. So they both have been annoying me, and I'm glad that we finally got to the bottom of some of it, but there's still something going on with the new assistant that we don't know yet, and I'm waiting on that because it's bothering me. So I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
For sure, because I need to know, why is it so important for you to know who Jane Doe is? What is that about? I'm like, you related to Jane Doe or something, girl? What is T? You don't even
or the cops who had her arrested. What if she's related to the cops who had her arrested? Because we don't know if the cops are black or white.
Yeah, true that. Very true.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to figure out. We knew it was something weird going on with the new assistant when she was sitting at the house crying, when she walked into the office asking where all the doors were, all that type of stuff. So I feel like she's crying for a reason. I think they're more alike than what they may know. They're both going through something, but it would be very crazy if their situation was the same on opposite ends of it.
I can't wait till they break that down. And I hope it does not take us a few episodes to get to it. I really hope they get to it on next week's episode. But let's move on to Tam. So Tam is about to become partner, but she sits down with who was it? Was like her client or something, and that's when he called her one of the good ones. So she's about to become partner, but she has to also bring her husband. So it makes me feel like that's also one of the reasons why she's about to make partner. Is because of her husband being who he is, or her soon-to-be husband being who he is, and the fact that he may potentially run for mayor, so that may look good on their behalf, and he may need them, so they may, I don't know, figure out something between the two, some type of leverage or something going on. So that was pretty interesting. Moving on, we saw Jamal hit up Delilah, and he called her about some situation he needed her to look over for him. But all in all, he really just called her so he can get over there with her, hang out with her, spend some time with her. And then the last thing was Leah receiving a visit from Fred Osborne at her house. And Fred just busted in the house like, did he have a key? He knocked on the door, but it was like he just be there all the time.
Yeah,
he got up. Yeah, he got up to the door at least. Yeah, because he was able to get in the building.
Oh, okay. So
when I seen Tam and the mayor dude, the deputy mayor dude talking, what I thought was a key point was how her bosses said, "Oh, we get to finally meet him." I feel like on one level that Tamara has been holding him back because of his position and doesn't want him involved in her job, because it seemed like she kept on like, you come here and just be my person. Don't come here as deputy mayor. So I think she know what kind of attention bringing him around brings, and it takes the attention off her. So I think she wants to be the center of that meeting or whatever. But even her having to sit there when the client then said, "Oh, you're one of the good ones," I felt like you see how they see you, but you choose to ignore it. So that part angers me, because I'm like, You can't say to Delilah, you don't know what I have to go through. You don't have to go through that. You choose to go through that because that's what you want to do. Because had anyone said you're one of the good ones, I don't need to ask my white boss what other white men meant by that. That I'm like, but you know what it means. You are a smart person. So that pissed me off.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I was like, yeah, it angered me.
And that was her boss. That was the big boy. That was her boss's dad. So that's the one that they really have to answer to. And that's the one who has to okay the partnership. And I am over Tam at this point, to be honest, because I feel like I need to understand why two friends who are both lawyers, who are this smart, have not decided to team up and, you know, go in together. And one person does the pro bono good work, and the other person does the more, you know, bringing the money client stuff. Why would y'all not do this together from the jump? So that's something that I'm wondering about as far as their relationship. But even though Delilah is aggravating with her self-righteousness, Tam is so annoying with wanting Delilah to bend to her will. And then when Delilah kind of, you know, impresses her wants on Tam, Tam is like, wait a minute, I'm just doing my job. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of a little one-sided. And it also makes me feel like their friendship has probably been a tad bit one-sided. So, you know, that's that on that. But yeah, that was it. That's all I had to say about that. I don't like Tam, to be honest.
I wanted to highlight, I had a question. Y'all tell me if I heard this wrong. It sounded like they said Tam's salary for becoming partner is $150,000. Followed it up with she has to give 3% to donations or something every year. Then turned around and said she has to pay for her own insurance. And did they also say her retirement? And I was like, well, with the $150K, what the she gonna have left? Or was that a bonus of $150K?
No, the 100, that amount was how much she has to pay to buy into being a partner. Because sometimes you partner with a firm, you have a buy-in rate.
Okay.
Because you buy in because you then, you know, of course, make a lot of money on the back end. So that's what they were telling her, how much it's going to cost her to buy in, and then what she also has to be responsible for. But her salary will be different because you're not a partner. I would not want to. I don't want to pay for that.
Right, I would start my own firm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you already know the ins and outs of their company. Why don't you go, like Bondi mentioned, which I highly recommend, partner with your good girlfriend, and y'all create your own firm that at some point is going to be on a level to compete with their firm. Like, it only makes sense.
Do we have moderators in here today?
No, we don't have any moderators in here.
I just
what you need
saw a comment. No, go ahead and block Angel Johnson. Talking about Kenya's daughter is trash too. Looks like a boy troll doll. So we're gonna go ahead and block Angel Johnson with the foolishness. I'm like, who the fuck said that about a goddamn?
Yeah, they updated it. You can add people as mods from the comments now. You ain't got to go into settings and all that.
Okay. January Highland. I'm about to add you as a moderator. Can you go ahead and remove, who was that person you said again, JB?
It was Angel Johnson.
Angel Johnson. January Highland. Can you take them out for me?
So I'm like, who the fuck?
I got
it. Baby. It was like, what the fuck? I can't. I can't take people when we talk about kids.
Okay, bet.
Cause I won't cuss nobody out today. You know, we're gonna.
I know. This is so funny. Okay.
But back to the show.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
I do think Delilah's a great show. I think it's progressing well because we know people's names now. We don't like certain people or whatever, and stuff was kind of making sense a little bit more. But I like the first, maybe like 2 episodes, it was like, what the fuck is it? Like, it was confusing a little bit, but now I'm like, okay, like stuff is making sense. Even how much we know Leah cannot be trusted. The fact that he came to her house. And, you know, he then said we have to, like, you know, solve this or whatever. The fact that she been lying little by little about different shit the whole time, she cannot, like, she can't be trusted like this at all. I don't know why, but I still feel like her coming to Delilah was a trick within itself.
Yes, I do too. And I think that it's one of them situations where they might try to be like setting something up so that they can get money from the company, where they, you know, they go in cahoots together so that they can try to sue the company and get like a payoff, and then they split the money or some shit like that. It was the episode of Soul Food one time. It was the episode when Babyface was in there and Terry was his lawyer, and he was like basically scamming with the daughter. So I feel like it's definitely a situation where Leah and him are in cahoots, and things are just not working out like they're supposed to, or something like that. Like something is going on that is messing up the plan. But I do think it's good. They just need to hurry it along and hurry up and make it make more sense. Because even though we get a little bit every episode, it's like, how many times are y'all just gonna, you know, y'all gonna keep giving us little bitty tablespoons of information? Pieces. Like, bitch, give me an episode where, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be shocked and wild, bitch.
Right. Since it's new, you gotta just.
Yeah.
I do think it'll get a season 2, though. I don't think it's gonna get canceled.
It better.
I thought we get a season 2
about that other show, and they canceled that.
Ambitions. I think Ambitions had, but they had 2 seasons. They canceled it before the third.
I thought it was
they had 2 seasons.
I thought it was 1 too. Maybe it was a one.
No, it was one that left and came back.
Probably so. But I don't think Delilah's gonna be on much longer. I feel like it probably has like maybe 2, 3, if that, more episodes. So hopefully
a lot of shows are going off soon. I'm like,
goes off.
I actually like that better. I feel like a lot of those mini series shows are coming out with the pandemic. I actually really like that better because I feel like they don't drag us along with as much BS.
I don't like it because they'll have it on for like, let's say 8 to 10 episodes, and then they'll wait a year. And I'm like, I can't remember what happened last year. And I'm punk ass 8 episodes of season 1. So I do feel like if they have a shorter season, you should not take long to come back for season 2. Like, don't do Tyler Perry come back in 2 months. But again, like, it shouldn't be no year and a half in between, the first 8 to 10 episodes to the second season.
I agree. And speaking of shows, I read something that said Put a Ring on It is supposed to be coming back around the same time as Love and Marriage Huntsville. So
really,
I hope
like that show.
You don't like that show?
No, I do like it, but I feel like something with the format of that show was a little flawed. It's like
I think they're gonna come back better though, because I hope they watched it and changes it a little bit. I hope they watched it and then saw, some of the comments about how it was dumb, and they kind of will not make it be so dumb.
I hope so.
They need to have some kind of leniency or whatever.
Yes, it was just dating. Like at the beginning, it was all hot. Like, oh my gosh, they're going on a date. But it's like to date the whole season, and literally that's your only deciding factor. Nah,
is the dates. Yeah,
could have been some more.
For sure,
it should be some dates. It should be like they should only be able to date for the first, let's say, 4 weeks. The first 4 weeks you have like some dates, and after that you have something else to test the couples besides the dates, because you either going to keep going on solo dates and not have nothing come from it, or keep going out with the same person. But I do want someone to break up on the show. Like I want someone to choose a date. Like I do want to have season 2.
Me too.
They need to do it how they did. They need to learn from Temptation Island. Have y'all seen that?
Yes.
I don't watch that show.
I feel like that's a better format because it's kind of the same, except they separate the couples on 2 different islands. So literally you're focused on yourself and dating other people versus, how Hollywood and Ashley, she was kind of messed up because she couldn't date for him being in her ear. So it's like, y'all need to have them go on dates, add couples therapy, like hardcore individual therapy the whole season, or just separate them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Speaking of dating, Temptation Island, all of that, let's move over to Ready to Love.
Ready to fuck.
Why Christian looking like he had a 1940?
You did a whole girl. Thank God for this, because we don't know none of these people.
Yeah, no, this is great. I love this.
Okay, y'all. So it was so much that happened. Y'all saw my notes, okay? We're going to try and get it to you.
I see why.
So y'all know Dietrich and Stacey were the first to arrive, and they were vibing, and then they were followed by David and Bernicia. Troy arrives, and he made sure that he connected with every single woman, and he kept talking about a motherfucking trip. Let me tell you, Troy got nerves for some reason. Like, I just do. He is not a fan favorite for me. I do not like Troy. It was like every woman that he came across, it was you think they'll let us go on a trip? Where you want to go? You want to go on the trip? It's like Troy.
Well, he kept trying to kiss everybody on the cheek. Like, stop trying to physically touch me, nigga. I don't know you.
Get out my face.
Exactly.
To be real, I don't like nobody on the show, really. Like,
Joel is the only one. Joel is and I don't even really like him, but I think he is attractive. Him and
wait, bring the picture back up, Jamie.
David,
AJ and Joel are the most attractive ones there to me.
Yeah, it's something about Joel with this damn
shirt open
out. Yeah,
I don't like that neither. I don't either. But compared to the other guys,
but I think David
only like Joel because he's from New Orleans.
Right,
that's the reason why I don't like him. To be honest,
I
totally ignored him my first way around because here come a nigga calling everybody baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he gonna accent the fuck out you hoes. So yeah, no, I wasn't super excited about him, but when I was watching the episode, he was one of the only ones that didn't give a weird ass energy. Troy gives a weird ass
that's true.
energy. David, Jason, Ron.
But see, I think David is cute. He's
like
weird.
David. But I still think he's cute. Weird energy. And I think Joel at least looked like a regular dude trying to holler at women to me.
Because Joel knows he look good. He know his accent gonna catch him, so he doesn't have to be anyone but himself. Right. Whereas the other guys
they don't know how to be.
They look bad, but they feel like I don't know how to be here around other men. Even Jason, who I thought would go home first. He wasn't as corny on here. I'm like, okay, he's not that bad. And seeing him in the scenes, he's cuter in the scene than he is in photos. Absolutely. I'm like, oh, he's attractive.
This look like a kindergarten picture. You know he a teacher the way he took this damn phone.
Girl.
I can't get over with Jason. At first I said for me it was the dolphin teeth, but the more I watched him, it looked like he got a damn lace front beard on. Y'all know from America's Next Top Model when they did that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's because his beard is too small. I think because it's not a fully grown beard. It's like a baby beard.
Yeah, I'm not here for him either way. Him, Ron, I'm still kind of waiting to see something from Dietrich, but I don't like him neither. Joel just seemed not as much of just more of a get along type of guy. Somebody that you could at least have a casual conversation with that won't make you feel like he's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Cause he liked Bernicia and he was like, oh, I like that. She thick and all of that. So he was loving on her. I actually like Christian until they put pressure on him. I thought he was actually funny before they put pressure on him. And then all of a sudden it was like, he didn't know how to be. AJ is an asshole, but he's the most not the most, but one of the most decent looking guys there.
Because he's tall, dark, and handsome. I think that's why he gonna mesh well for one. But I also feel like when Joel and Venetia was talking, I do feel like they both like each other, and they both was flattered with each other, and that was the cute part. Whereas I feel like some of the other guys was just flirting to flirt.
Yeah,
just flirting to flirt. So that was a weird part. Now for the ladies, I feel like Ida gonna get on my nerves because I think she's extra. I think
you look gay. Anybody ever told you that?
They kept saying that she said
Marvin Gaye.
They said that she said Marvin Gaye, but I'm like, I heard that you look gay, but I ain't go back and listen to it. So I'm not sure. But I also feel like Alexis will be teamed too much because how she kept coming on to Jason, and I felt like he wasn't reciprocating, like he wasn't giving her back that, oh, you like me? Okay, cool. It was like, oh, you like me? Oh, okay. I felt bad for her because she kept throwing out her little hook, and he wasn't trying to catch it.
What made me feel bad? What woman you feel bad for?
Alexis. Because when she was talking to,
he said that she was in his top.
She did,
but that was only because
he said he said, yeah, you know, she got to let up because I know her. But he didn't like, he said, I know she likes me. I'm flattered. But I felt like he didn't give her back the energy of, okay, we can see what it's like. It was like, okay, I'm going to accept what you're saying, but I'm not going to say I can like you too. I'm flattered that you like me. I didn't like that. I wanted him to at least act like, okay, this could be something. And I don't think he really did that. He just did not want to reject her, but he also, in my opinion, did not accept her advances.
Okay, I'll take that. I mean, he should have accepted her advances with his little. I'm just saying.
He really thinks he's cuter than he is.
Yeah, he think he a catch, and it's like, sir, you and Troy are in the same boat. Y'all could have went home first. To me, like I think Troy and Jason should have went home first, and they should have kept Christian and Khalil a little longer because I feel like Khalil might have been awkward, but I also feel like it's a mixer, and it's kind of hard for a person that's not, you know,
social like that.
Yeah, charismatic. Like some people are better once you actually just start to talk to them. And I think Khalil probably would have gave good conversation if he had been given a chance to be there for more than 5 minutes. Whereas I'm looking at Ron, Jason, and Troy, like, and AJ, really, like, why the fuck did y'all keep them?
Because they look like they should be there. And they have a energy that is stronger. I feel like Christian down part was when was either Kira, or somebody else who talked to him and told the other ladies that, you know, he may not be as, you know, assertive or whatever. I think whoever that was that told the other woman that put that in their head. And I felt like that was a disservice to Christian, because just because he was like that to you, does that mean that he would not maybe be more assertive with other women?
I don't like most of these women. I'm gonna just say the people that I did like or notice. I liked Vernisha because I felt like I liked her energy. I didn't like Andrea. I didn't like Chrysanthemum, whatever her name was. I thought Alexis was cool, but I think Alexis comes off a little bit too eager. I didn't like Tressa because I felt like she was trying to, like, I just felt like she was sitting up there having a conversation with Khalil. Jason comes over. Oh, she can make me laugh. But then as soon as one of them other ladies, once Kira came in, then that completely took his attention. And now she's just standing up there by herself, you know, looking at Khalil, and Khalil like, well, I thought you was about to go somewhere with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel like she, in that moment, it was just weird to me. Ida, I already knew she was gonna give me weird energy because I told y'all she reminded me of Shuni the rapper from the lady that battle. Yeah, Queen of the Ring. She reminded me of Shuni the rapper. Amber, even though she's like a little, you know, little teapot shirt and style, you know, she's all cute. Her energy is weird to me. Like her energy is weird.
It is off 1,000.
Yes, even though I was not upset with the conversation that she had with Ron, because I felt like, you know, it was a real conversation. That was Ron, right?
Or was it her? It was Khalil, I thought.
Khalil? Okay.
Yeah, she was talking to Khalil.
Yeah.
When she was asking him about what issues he needed to work on.
Correct.
In a relationship, and he kept saying Mean Girls. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that was Khalil. Okay, that's why he went home right there, because nobody wants to hear you talk about how you're only blaming women for your issues. Absolutely. And I think that's, but I also think that's because he's insecure. He's older. Like, you're insecure, sir. And she picked up on that, and that wasn't attractive. But she was cool for the most part.
But you know what I wondered? I wondered if what he meant was the downfall was he kept picking Mean Girls.
I think so.
I do wonder if he did not know how to properly explain what he meant, because their conversation was weird. Because he was saying in the confession beforehand that he keeps picking Mean Girls. He does not know why. But I think he needs to learn how to, you know, say that the right way.
Right.
I think the top girls will be Liz, Venetia, and probably just because she's pretty, Chris. Or Stacy, but I put Liz and Venetia in my top 2 for the females.
Liz,
I see.
Liz.
Venetia. I like Kyra. I think she's really beautiful.
See,
I love her personality,
but her whole stunt trying to expose Christian kind of showed me more about her than what I really wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to expose him like that to the group. And even more so, Diedrich commented on it and said, well, as a man, XYZ. And I was like, why do all y'all feel comfortable talking to this man about his manhood because he's not assertive? Like, people have different personalities. So that X Kyra out for me. And then Bernicia, my biggest fear that I see with her is that Joel is going to claim her. And it won't be until the end, to whenever everybody else has made connections, that she won't be able to match with somebody.
Oh, that can probably happen. But I don't see Amber making connections because I think she's still kind of immature. Something about her is like, I'm still learning me. But I do feel like Ida is going to be around for a minute with her craziness. And I think Stacey is going to play the field too much and then not get chose.
I could
the top men would be Joel, AJ, and probably Troy.
I was gonna say David.
Me too, but y'all remember how long the other dude lasted in the show? The old man from last year that had all them kids.
Yeah.
I feel like he lasted in the show for a long time. And I can see Troy doing that, but this is the thing for me. I feel like it's going to be more so on production in a sense. I feel to keep him on the show long because of ratings and people going to be talking about it and stuff. That's my assumption. I don't know if anybody's truly going to be interested in him, but we'll see.
I do think they have a good cast this season. I do think it'll make for good. I think it's gonna be for good TV, not good matches.
Okay,
it's gonna make for good TV. I think I've moved away from thinking these shows are gonna really have people find love. I think like you have like one good season, 2-3 bad seasons, then one other good season, and that's what this show gives me. Like you may get one couple out of this, maybe two, but I do think it's gonna be entertaining either with the drama of it all or who we think gonna be there, who not gonna be there.
True.
I would like for the men to be more attractive to me. And I'm not even talking about just looks. I'm talking about personality wise. I don't even need for y'all to all have the same personality, but could y'all not be so insecure and just, like Ron, Jason, even Dietrich, AJ, Khalil, David, Troy, like we see why y'all are single off rip. Rip. AJ, I see why you're single off rip. Joel, we know why you're single because God rest her soul, your wife died, but your shirt is still open, sir. So it's just
Daddy.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of like bitchy, weird ass women and a whole bunch of underqualified, insecure ass fuckboys. Like that's what it seemed like to me.
But I feel like the whole thing with AJ and Kira knowing each other from the date before, she made me mad, making it feel as if they had such a bad date, and it was just that she had to pay. I'm thinking like that's bad, but that was my worst thing. I'm thinking like he was a pro person.
The conversation that they had after that really made her feel away, like him blaming her. I think it was probably more so that than him not paying the bill. Because like y'all said, it was the second date, right? So if it was the second date, you paid the first date, it's not a big deal. But you knew you was gonna pay. You knew you was supposed to pay for that fucking meal, and then you gonna turn around and act like I'm fucked up for expecting you to pay for it when you know you was supposed. Like he probably asked her out, which is probably why she, thought he was going to pay the bill. So I just kind of think that even though that's not a big deal, like people go Dutch all the time, it still made me feel like, oh, you one of them niggas that's gonna try to blame the woman once you've been called to the carpet on your bullshit. So that's why I don't really see it for him. And I feel like it was probably a bigger teller than he wants to admit. We'll see though.
What's funny to me is I think that Kyra is still gonna give AJ time of day.
Yeah, she is.
I think she likes attention, which is why she pulled the stunt with Christian. And I think she will still talk to AJ after calling him El Chico.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
She happy he here.
Yep. She wants to try to fuck.
I agree. Did we talk about Dietrich not being interested in this cat? It's not much of a conversation, but I thought that shit was hilarious to see.
It was funny.
Sit down and she up here whining about a damn cat. And
he was like, the cat not dead. It's just missing. Right. I cackled so hard when he said that. I was like, oh, it's true though, because the cat not dead. We hope the cat not dead.
And this is why she ain't had no man in all these. This is why she ain't dating. Because she don't have no conversation. It's hilarious. David and Liz, can y'all see them two being together? I felt
singing like church songs in the beginning, you know, sings well because it's a new person, you don't know them. But I feel like I want to see if that goes anywhere. It's easy to both like a song and sing it, but I don't know if that was really a connection versus, you know, we both like to sing.
And let's be clear,
I don't know.
Something wrong with her too. Let's be clear. Something is wrong with her. Yeah, but
she may be a big tick tick boom too, but I don't know yet.
I do think she ain't met it yet, but it's there because there's. I mean, to me, she hasn't had a man in the same amount of time as Andrea.
But she different though. Like Andrea and Liz are like on two different spectrums of I ain't dated in 17 years. Like you can tell Andrea ain't dated in 17 years. You can't tell Liz hasn't. Liz seems like she's really here to find someone where Andrea is still looking for a cat.
This is true, but I just feel like something of like whenever people start off jump with, you know, like y'all are singing a gospel song to each other in the middle of this group of people on this at this mixer and everybody's looking at y'all. Like I know we want to think that was a cute moment, but that shit was kind of weird. And I just kind of feel like it's a teller and we waiting on it. But I think it was a teller.
But that's weird for David because David was the one who brought up her singing. Because she just said she sang back in the day in a church.
And he was like, well, sing something. And she was like, all right, so let's sing. And they sang together. And I was just like, this shit look weird. Like, just think about it.
I think David the one with the issues. I'm just going off the trailer.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that she is some, you know, problem child like Ida. I'm just saying it's something about her that I feel like is a shoe dropping, just like it's gonna be for some of these other women.
Yeah, I agree.
Makeup is too light. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I think it is something about Liz. I think she has I'm gonna call it the Chili syndrome. You know how Chili had that list of like 17 or 18 things that a man would have to have, and it was like crazy, ridiculous things. Liz gives me that type of vibe.
Like a list of 100.
Andrea and Ron, like I don't like Ron.
I don't like Ron either.
About him.
Oh, he made me mad.
He's an insecure little man that thinks having money makes him important.
But no, for him to feel like, you know, he wants her to be a traditional wife or traditional mom where she can't work. And when he said to her, I think you should be traditional and not work. I'm like, did you really just say that bullshit? And I like how when he said it, she wasn't for it. I feel like sometimes you can think because she's been single for so long, she may be ready for whatever. But I like it. It's like, you know what? Let's go find whoever else we ain't talked to yet. This is over. Like, this is a done conversation. Because she could have easily, like, at least appeased him a little bit and, like, okay, well, can we compromise? I like how I was like, you know what? No.
That's it. It's over.
Because I'm like, I cannot believe, like, who says that to someone on day one at the mix? But I think at that point in time, he felt like, you know, a woman going home, so let me go ahead and, like, you know what I'm saying, push my narrative forward. Oh, punk ass. I was like, who says that to someone? You should be here. We don't need your little check. I'm like, how the fuck you need a check, girl?
That was so disrespectful. Because I mean, I really do feel like men really have got to put it in their minds. Women are people. Y'all don't understand. Y'all think we people when we say, yeah, y'all people. No. We are like men, fucking people with egos and feelings, and nobody wants to hear their career that they love and enjoy and appreciate belittled in such a way by a fucking stranger.
Absolutely.
Oh, half a ass man, stupid man. But yeah, it was a good episode though.
It was. I just hate that they got rid of Christian.
Christian and Khalil.
I thought Ida should have left.
I thought it was a good twist, but they sent home 2 men. I thought that was a good twist. I was surprised too.
Fight over these niggas.
That was good.
Ain't nothing left.
That's what they want you to do.
Pretty much. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing, guys. We're gonna move on over to
Lord Jesus.
good old Queen Sugar.
Lord Jesus.
Child.
So we see Blue done found that letter. He was looking for a history packet, but he ran up on that acceptance letter for that school out there in DC. Then we move on to what's her name? Charlie. So Davis is still at the house helping her out, you know, looking after her. I really appreciate Davis doing that. I see in her eyes that she's like starting to see him differently, gonna want to be back with him.
Want that old thing back?
When you said in her eyes, I said, girl, I can tell you what it is. That's what
you boo, just as bad as you wanna bug, I wanna bug. No. Yeah.
For
Child,
sure.
when I saw them, when he was bringing in food and cooking soup and shit, and I was just like, bitch, I want you to be with Davis. I don't care what happened in the past.
Look at them looking like a whole couple watching the news.
And then when they was watching Jeopardy together, and he's geek too, so they was like having their little geeky moments together. I was just like, real cute.
Yeah.
But the whole time I was like, but he got a whole human. He had a whole human from the infidelity.
They broke up. It's been enough time.
But yeah, because
that happens way too often in my family. That happens way too often. People be having babies on people. That happens way too often around here. So it's just kind of be like, you know what, y'all all right. Sorry,
but I think don't in the preview. I don't know if it was on this episode. I feel like it was a preview when she was asking somebody, "Do you believe people can change?" Because now she's starting to see him differently, and I think at that place, see, that's what really be mattering when you on your deathbed, pretty much, and you see who show up for you, and she sees that. That's what Scrappy meant when he was talking about Bambi.
Yes,
she gonna really beat up for a nigga when a nigga down and out. So that's what Davis was to Charlie. So now she's starting to rethink things, like, cause she ain't got nobody. Like you've ruined a lot of the relationships. He never wanted
I want them back together,
but you did, and I would love to see them back together. I would love for them to be back. Like, he gonna be there for you. He told her, like, it don't matter what. He said, there's no place I can be that will keep me from being away, that will keep me away from you. So if you need me anytime, any day, whatever, call me. I was like,
I think we saw Davis. I think we're seeing Davis grown up. Whereas they met in college, he was, you know, a basketball star or whatever. And I think he lived that life, lost his life or whatever. And now he better. He look different. Like he does. Like he know he fucked up and he has to be a better person.
I think
even though he had a whole kid,
they have to lose shit. You know what I'm saying? Things have to break apart in order for them to come back together, or for people to even realize what they really had in the first place. Just saying.
I just want them back together. I think she had her time of being pissed off at him, making sure he knew that he did wrong. Like, she didn't stay with him. She left him, divorced him, moved on with her life. But it's like, okay, he a different person. And I think a part of her never wanted to not be with him. She just didn't have no choice. And now that it seemed like he could be different, he could have changed. Like, he was like, I'll catch COVID for you. I'll die for you. I'm here. I broke in your house for you. I could have got arrested and killed. I broke in your house.
If Davis dies of COVID, y'all, I'm gonna curse all y'all out.
No, I'm gonna that honestly, because it reminded me of, I feel like so many people, they don't change or they don't become an angel in our eyes until they're ready to die on TV. We saw that on the shot. Y'all remember on the shot? He had a commitment and then that was it. So once
Jamie already told us they was gonna kill Darth, are you gonna say they're gonna kill Davis?
It's gonna be Davis. I think it's gonna be Davis because I don't want them to get back together. Although I do appreciate who Davis is, I just wanted them to have sex. But to see him change, it's nice to see it. But I think that's it. I don't think that we're gonna get them two being back together. I think he's gonna be sick.
I believe that. I could see that. Let me say, I could see that because when has Charlie, since she's been on this show, gotten anything that was good? Like, nobody.
That's why she needs it.
I mean, well, Ralph Angel got his good thing, which is Darla. He got his family, but now he about to send his son off to school. But Charlie just, it's like trouble follows her. So I don't know, y'all. I hope they don't kill Davis like that. Hopefully he just get real sick and then bring him back.
I hope this be their new goodness. Like before the basketball shit, him being gone and whatnot or whatever. I feel like this can be their start over. Micah's, an adult now. They both are their own person. She doesn't have to be his fixer. He doesn't have to be this perfect man, who on the court is like, he's this or that or whatever. They can both be themselves. Like when they was in the bed watching the show or whatever, I felt like that was them if they did not have to be who they had to be for his career. And now he can be her backbone. So I hope they don't get, I don't, you know what? Damn it.
Or he can be her lesson because this is his final chapter.
When you see,
she just wants somebody to die.
Well, didn't they say somebody was gonna die from COVID though? They said somebody.
The Hollywood mama died. They didn't kill our Prosper. He old.
No.
That Prosper died.
No. Prosper can't prosper. He gonna have to go.
No, Prosper's lived a long, good life. He's okay. But I don't want them to do that because that, to me, that would devastate Charlie and Micah. And I really hope they don't. But they've already lost the father. The father died. Hollywood died, which brings turmoil to him and I. You're gonna have Nova. What we're gonna talk about a little bit later. I feel like with Ralph and Darla, Mason blew away. You can't also kill off Calvin. Like I feel like you have to.
Listen, Calvin may not die, but he don't need to be there no more. Not after this episode. Not after we found out that you're the reason why that man in a fucking wheelchair. Because your last hit is the one that broke that man back and ruined his life. Calvin sitting up there acting like you ain't do nothing and you don't feel bad about what happened, but you somebody that was out here ruining lives. Calvin, really, Calvin?
You're Nova now.
I'm sorry. Once you mentioned it and I remembered it, I got mad.
No, but I don't want him here. I don't want him here. Like I don't want Nova to like have her person, but I feel like if she loses him, it won't be fair for Charlie to also lose Davis. So I feel like let Nova lose Charlie. That's girl. Let Nova lose Calvin. But I feel like we have no reason to want Davis to die just yet.
Jay Lee, is Charlie really losing Davis though? Because she never had him until he became this angel. So that's what I'm saying. This ain't really.
I think they had a good marriage at one point. Like Charlie and Davis was happy, but then he was on some fuckboy shit, and then he ruined all of that. So I feel like he had his good parts, and that's what she fell in love with. And then as he got older to the game, he became a fuckboy basketball player and was doing what they do on the road, banging and bagging chicks. And now he see his older age, that ain't what it is. And I also feel like it's a good thing that it's not as if Davis changed for Charlie because he ain't been with her.
Right.
So the changes he made on his own. So I think it's different when a man changes because he wants to get you back, and that's it. He has changed separately in his own life.
Still die, y'all. Let's not act like Darla can't still die. So let's just hold on and see who's gonna die. Let's not predict who's gonna die just
yet.
Let's
not predict the death.
Darla could still die.
Oh goodness!
I hope not. So Darla gonna die, and Blue gonna go away. So Rob by himself.
That would be terrible. Those people who went from struggle and turned into an angel, and now her mission isn't complete because she still has to raise.
Y'all want to kill off people.
I feel like they're rounding out Davis to die so well because now everybody's come to terms with Micah being a man. Micah's not a boy anymore, so you don't have that responsibility. So
no, but you also be gone all the time.
I'm grown. Child, listen, all I know is fuck Calvin. I really hope Davis doesn't die. Y'all gonna break my heart if something happened to Prosper. And I need to go and smoke a joint because she too stressed out. Her and Hollywood need to go and smoke some joints in the back together. Because I mean, honestly, this episode, Hollywood felt like a totally different person reading the newspaper with his glasses and throwing the newspaper all hard and shit. I was just kind of like, Hollywood, what happened? Like, I know
mama died.
I know, but still,
he's sad. His mama died. He couldn't open up his Hollywood spot. I think people don't. I said before, Hollywood has always been like so, like a happy-go-lucky,
yes,
you know, whatever. I think they showing what happens when that kind of person goes through, you know, parent died, can't open your business, and I'm stuck in the house going crazy. And my wife, who's older than me, keeps meddling this shit, and she says she gonna stop doing it, and then she don't. And now I'm pissed off because she still. I think it's good to show people who are usually so positive have moments of not being able to be that positive because they just in their feelings. And I think right now he trying to hold on and not go off.
It's absolutely realistic, Jay Lee. It's absolutely realistic, but I swear for fucking God, where is the happiness on this show besides whenever Blue is walking through the house and Darla doing yoga and Ralph Angel is at the table and the sun is coming through the windows? Bitch,
not much
light moments in this show.
It's not much. It's a heavy show, and I kept saying when they talked about how because they changed the script this year due to COVID and what happened, so it was going to be a completely different storyline. And I felt like I don't want them to do that because it's already a heavy, emotional, spiritual, ancestor, you know, type of show. And I felt like, what else can y'all take us through that will be happy dealing with COVID and what happened last year? So I do like how they have went about it. I like how they're taking what happened and applying it to each person. Because, you know, for Hollywood to be kind of beefing right now, and neither one of them is not that they're beefing, but they beefing. They for sure beefing. And they won't just accept it. I think, okay, that's what would happen to a couple who was happy, who are now stuck in the house. She can't cook no pies. He can't go do shit. And they in the house, okay. That's they part of what happened during COVID. And then how even with Charlie and Micah's older, want to go out and have fun, may catch COVID, may not, because we still don't know how did Charlie even catch it. Did she get it from Micah? Is Michael, you know, asymptomatic and he brought it to her? So again, it's like it's all these things that you know that they took from COVID but made it like entertaining but sad. We got the wedding, which was happy. For a moment, Nova was happy with Calvin. For a moment, you know, Hollywood was okay. Like, for a moment, when she was getting digged down, she was. You know what I'm saying? Those are happy moments in that point. But it's like, I think we not going to really get those happy-go-lucky. It's not going to be a happy show. It's going to be an informative show, and you have these aha moments and stuff they say. And that's what I look like. I can't, you know. As long as they can't kill Darla or no.
Nah, and they not gonna kill Calvin because of this storyline. With Nova, meeting with the lady, the Baptiste, getting information on what's the dude, Andre Nixon or Dixon or whoever she linking up with, and then exploring his case and stuff, finding out that it was Calvin that stumped him, that sent the blow to make him paralyzed.
Yeah, plus we have to see Calvin suffer.
Yeah, and I want Nova to leave him. Like, I'm not understanding how you, like, after hearing this, it should be no more. Like, they should separate because it just doesn't align with you fighting for Black people. And
it doesn't.
But you're with this man that paralyzed another Black person.
Mm-hmm. His wife was absolutely right whenever she said that he had a fetish for Black women. Because now I'm like, you know, oh, well, you're the only one I ever loved. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's real. But now we can't believe nothing you say at all.
Nope.
And that makes me wonder, what is he really doing down there? Talking about, I got to be down here a little bit longer. What else is really going on? What are you doing down there?
I wonder how, because someone sent Nova that story. Because when she was sitting there and got the email, I'm looking like, why are we seeing her get a new, like, I was like, what does it have to do with, like, her? But I'm like, who sent her this story? Do they know that Calvin was the one that did that? Because I'm like, it's not a coincidence for her to get a story of the person who, the one guy supposedly who her love basically paralyzed. So I'm like, it has to be like, did the wife know? And she's like, I'm gonna ruin y'all regardless, or the daughter. the daughter find out, and she wants, some kind of way for Nova to know. Because I was like, when she was sitting there talking to him, and he said, I won't ever forget who did it, the guy from your book. I was like, no. And then this seeing Nova's mind process, the acting that Nova did to show herself physically having to play what happened in her head, and then put Calvin in that realm of, you did this. Like this, the footwork of her eyeballs moving and tearing up was amazing visually for me, because I'm like, you don't really see people face react like that because they don't think about it. And I was like, that was amazing to just see her eyes processing what the fuck. Like she couldn't grasp what he was saying until she like thought, oh, it's him.
So for me, when I saw her emotions, honestly, I literally watched and I said she cried too quick. For me, it made me feel like you did not take the time to really digest what it is he's saying. And for her to cry as quick made me wonder. For her to cry as quick as she did, in my opinion, I said, I wonder if she already had these thoughts about him anyway. And this man just validated the thoughts that she had. For sure. Which is why
that's definitely how I felt.
Cried so quick. I was like, that's what
I definitely felt like it was like, oh my God, my worst fears have been realized. I definitely feel like it was a thought when he didn't feel bad. Like I definitely feel like she was already in that mind frame about Calvin. And I'm also wondering if Calvin's daughter sent that email for sure, because the daughter was pissed and she wants to know how she can be a good ally. Remember that conversation? So, possibility.
When she cried fast, what I thought it was, because I felt like she was already crying for the guy from the story. And I think she was putting in what he went through. And then for it to be Calvin, I think that broke her in a way. Because I felt like even if she thought Calvin ignored bullshit his colleagues did, it's something different to know at least one time you participated. Even if it was when you was a rookie, even if all you did was kick him one good time, you still fully participated in that. And I feel like we've seen her ask him over the seasons, here and there, has he ever done something, that, she probably didn't like or whatever. And I'm like, I feel like the reason she would leave him is not because he did it, it's because he lied about it. Because I asked you verbatim if you've done this or that or that. And this, you've always said no, knowing you did this one thing, because ain't no way that you don't know that the boy you kicked was paralyzed. So you knew in your own mind from that you at least at one point in time, did something horrible. So I do feel like her main issue would be, you lied to me because I asked you and you lied about it. So I think she won't be able to forgive him lying about it over him doing it.
Watch Calvin storm the Capitol in the finale.
Like, where was Calvin?
We don't know who he is at this point.
I cannot.
And he's in security. So that's something else to think that he was a cop and then he left being a cop and went to do security. Like, to me, this looking like you damn near killed the kid. Like, who you securing? So I think all of that kind of comes into play. And we see her asking him, like, did you do this or whatever? I really want to know what he say. Because you can't deny. You can't deny. So how would he try to even explain or say his version of it to make it okay that he never talked about it? Because you can't say, well, I kicked
Bye,
the
neighbor Dan. Bye, neighbor Dan. Bye.
That's how I feel. I was never feeling Calvin.
I was,
and now I'm not.
I'm never were, Jeremy. I remember you never were.
I don't like it for him. No.
It was something that was just always off. Like, I couldn't connect with it. And I really hope that he's not able to come back from this situation, because I really want Nova to move on. Like, go be with a brother or something. Okay, you over here want to fight the cause. Find somebody that's trying to do the same thing that you're doing. But you don't even get it. Say what?
They were doing something. I think, who was the dude helping her deliver COVID lunches? It seemed like they kind of had a connection.
Yes, the tattoo dude. That's Taz from down here. He's a tattoo artist. That was the one they tried to give a Black In Crew show, and then somebody got stabbed or something. I tell y'all, we can't have reality shows because we too ignorant.
They said it though on the on the show. Someone, I think the tattoo artist said how it's different down there. But I was still shocked.
Let's talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
No, I'm just saying don't kill Davis until trying to save Davis in my head, saying good vibes to that man.
Right, we can try and
He's done his duty, Jaylee. There's no more we need from him.
She is so sold on
He's full circle now.
He doesn't want him to die.
Himself as a man, as an ex-husband, his duty's done.
So y'all don't think it's gonna be Micah with him out here doing all this protesting and stuff, living his life, proud that he's gotten to the level that he's gotten?
I hope not. That's just
Can they kill
terrible.
Micah?
He still got so far to go.
See,
It's
y'all
not
trying
gonna
to hold on to everybody on the show. If you
Well,
say y'all gonna be like, no, not
Hollywood mama died.
Nah,
I told y'all kill Prosper.
I could go.
It's gonna be somebody to where they have to realize the virus isn't just taking old people; it's taking healthy athletes too. That's what's gonna be.
No,
I don't want them to kill nobody on the show. I don't. Because we know they've already been approved for next season, so we know they're gonna be back for next season. So that's one good thing. But I feel like I think because COVID is so real, I don't want them to kill a main character just to prove how real COVID is. I think that would be too much. And I don't want them to do that. Because that to me is like, you kill somebody, Hollywood mama. I think that makes them real enough because they all have to deal with Hollywood dealing with that. So I don't want them to kill off a main character for
COVID
entertainment purposes. Yeah, like if you do that next season, don't do that this season. Next season, them Darla gotta die. If your Calvin. If David died, let it be next season. Don't do that. Let something good happen now. Because I feel like how we're gonna be beefed out more than we think. I'm waiting for them to have because she already blew up at RHOA.
She did.
I feel like they're gonna blow up too.
Okay.
I was like, come on,
I won't disrespect you on this phone,
I don't want to hang up, but you don't make me hang up the phone on you. I was like, go ahead and do it.
I was like, go ahead, Rob.
But she was dead ass wrong.
To Hollywood, Hollywood be trying to tell her, but she don't want to listen. Then you call people to call people.
I do feel like
for him, yeah.
I do feel like she was overstepping her boundaries just a little bit up in here. Shout out to the 5 Hobbies. But I also felt like this is what happens when you are not the main parent for your children. This is what happens when Darla is somewhere sucking dick and, the little boy is malnutritioned and Aunt Vi had to be there to take care of him. And this is what happens when Ralph Angel is in fucking jail and nobody is available to take care of that child. And even though I feel like, he's not really yours and you don't have the right to have the to say so, I still understood how Aunt Vi felt. Because I do often feel like we be so happy to send our children away thinking that that's the better option when really them being away from their parents is traumatic and people don't like to really accept that. He may be all excited to go until he fucking gets there. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like Aunt Vi has to separate two different things. I feel like when Darla and Rob was on that bullshit, she has to know neither of them is in that same place. So they don't need you to be mother anymore. And I feel like they know how much she helped. So they allow her to be involved, which is why Darla called her for some advice. But I feel like you have to separate them needing you to watch him when they were doing bad versus them sending him away so that he can become better. And I feel like if she really thought about that and was less of a place of where I helped raise him, so my say so should be more than y'all say so. It's like they not sending him away for any other reason besides he wants to be better. And I feel like Ryan talking to Micah, who said it's nothing like having a choice to have my pick of schools based on my education. Like I wouldn't have had that had I been to any college in Louisiana because you just don't have those chances. I'm happy I had a chance. And Ralph making the decision to send his son away to have a better chance should be the one reason I know he doing right by him. And for her to tell him, you know, your daddy would be mad at you. Like you are, you know, she went too far.
She did. She went, you disappoint your dad be growing over in his grave. She did. She went way too far, but that's an extension of her not knowing how to deal with the difference in Hollywood. That's really all that was, her projecting. But I felt the same, because Nova said the same thing about how they don't have to send him away for him to get a good education. And I just kind of feel like it's been a theme on some of these shows where we've seen people think that they're making the right decision, sending their fucking kids away, and their kids be 20 years old resenting them for it. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel like there is some truth to it may not be the best decision.
And I can't even remember what I was going to mention. Oh, I was going to say this about Aunt Vi. I feel like it could be because of her issue dealing with Hollywood, but I also feel like she always kind of like feels like she has that authority over Ralph Angel, even not months, maybe like years or however long ago, when he wanted to even have custody of his own child. She was willing to not even give him that. So I think because she does not have any children and because they lost their mom early, she thinks that she's the next
like their
parent and she can, you know, be authoritative over him. And she, you know, another thing I really liked, although I wish that Darla and Ralph Angel could go to DC with Lil Man, I like the fact that they allowed him to make that decision. Like they really sat him down and talked, because Blue thought all he knew was farming, so he was okay with just being just that. And I think for Ralph Angel, I think he fell into that too, and he knows, Ralph Angel knows, there are options here. But it ain't options here, because if it really was like that, then I would have never got locked up. I would have never had to go through what I went through.
And your grandfather wouldn't have had to work as a janitor and have a farm at the same time. So, it's not that I disagree. It's just that I feel like you said, I wish they would be able to live there with him, because I feel like he's so young to be away from his parents for years. Like he's just really young, and it'd be different if he was in high school. But as like an 8-9-year-old, I just wouldn't want to be away from my mom that long.
I like how they said he would come. I like how he said that you'll come back on weekends. We'll come. So I like that they made him know that you won't be gone forever. You'll still see us, you know what I'm saying, here and there and whatever. So it's an openness to it. And I think the reason Ralph made the decision was more because he didn't want Blue to be so closed off to think I can only be a farmer. I think he realized my son only sees as far as his farm. He can't see anything outside of the farm, and I need him to see that. That's what made that decision. It was Blue saying, I'm gonna be a farmer because my dad is a farmer. He can't see nothing else.
Yeah, no, because when he explained, the look on his face, like I could do something else, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he hadn't even thought about it. So I did appreciate that moment, and I wasn't mad at the end when that's a decision that they decided to make. But I also feel like, what is this gonna look like a few weeks in? Like everything's all good right now, but once he gets there, what's this gonna look like? So I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
It's like, is he just going to do virtual school for now? Because we at the height of the pandemic, nobody was in school.
But if this is a boarding school, or is this a regular school?
It's some kind of fancy thing. Because even Micah said how great the school was. Even Micah knew, just off hearing the name of it, he knew how. And I like how Ralph didn't just listen to Aunt Vi. He also, Micah knew the best of both worlds. He went to private school or whatever, but he still chose to HBCU once he was able to choose. I think that's why Darla and Ralph let Blue know what his options was. And, you can want to go, and that's okay. I think a part of him didn't want to leave because he just like, I don't want my parents to think I want to leave. So I don't want to. I think it was like a plethora of things that they all didn't want to face, and they had to. Like Blue is smart. Blue needs to go away. He needs to see something besides, because he's been there his whole life, his whole 8-9 years or whatever. So again, once you start like elementary school, that's a good age to show them something different. And it's good because he'll be able to go away, see other things, but then come back on weekends and still be rooted in his family.
I was just, they can't see that Darla's mom is going to be worse than Aunt Violet, adding another parental figure to have a say in raising Blue. I'm like, yep, that's going to be another issue, because if you think she's not going to be a fucking headache.
See, I disagree with them sending Blue off until Aunt Vi was like, yeah, this girl got a good job. She worked as an essential.
I know.
And it made me think about my entire family is from Oklahoma. And literally the type of stuff that I do, they don't even know what it is. And if my parents wouldn't have moved to Dallas, Texas, I would have been just like Blue. So I disagreed until they made it relative. And I was like, she got a good job. I was like, oh no. You got the Krogers? You got the Myers?
It's more out there.
Down to the grocery store for your whole life. Depressed.
Crazy to say she was going to this big old college, couldn't go to college, and then became a manager at the damn Kroger.
A manager trainee. Good night.
Oh, trainee. I was like, who's trainee? She should have went to college.
I'm done.
We can move on. Guys, we are about to get ready to talk about Married at First Sight. But before we get to that, make sure y'all like the video. Like the video. If you go like the video. Like the video. Bondi's better at that with the bounce. You know what I'm saying?
That's her little song or whatever.
Like. Like the video. Oh, like the video. Oh.
Every time Niecy turns to the side and starts dancing, it's hilarious.
So Niecy down at the bottom.
Listen, y'all know what I feel like I'm giving with the hair. I know everybody sees Donna Summer, but I'm feeling Dolores Cartier. You know what I'm saying? What bread that spread what? Y'all don't remember Sister Act 2? When she finally got her money and her show was popping in Vegas. Okay. Yeah, like this big old hair. Like, I feel like I'm giving Whoopi in Sister Act 2.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
I love that.
Just want something different, and I like big hair, so.
I like big hair, and I cannot lie.
What?
Terrible, y'all. Terrible. It's so late. I don't know why I'm like this. Let's go ahead and get into some people. Who we got first up? Eric and Virginia. So he brings her back to the house, you know, his childhood home. He starts showing her his, I guess, memorabilia, flashback photos and stuff. Virginia says she started feeling sad because he want to talk about how family is important to him, but he's never had a relationship with her family. He hasn't tried to make any effort or anything. So he says that he's going to actually try to have a relationship, and he's going to start calling her family a little bit more. So Eric actually ended up calling her dad, talking to her dad. He apologizes and tells the dad that he's been pretty busy and that he's been focused on work and their relationship. He goes on to, like, he's about to apologize to the dad, but the dad tells him that he doesn't owe him an apology. I was like hell he don't. He need to be apologizing to somebody for his damn antics. Mm-hmm. So he goes on. His dad tells him that he's proud to have him as a son-in-law. And I'm like, sir, you don't even know this man. Proud to have him. You don't even know him. So then
psycho killer.
Period. So later we see Eric and Virginia go play basketball because, you know, that's her background. She wanted to let him in on her life. She shows him pictures and things. She said that she learned at a very young age that she had to pretty much grow up and be an adult quickly because her parents ended up divorcing. I think her mama left the state, but she stayed at the state. When they had senior night, her parents didn't show up, but her siblings was able to be there for her. And Eric goes on to say that he admires her and says that he wants her to need him sometimes, and says that he's going to always be there to support her through whatever. But I feel like that's horse shit. I don't believe that because of just the small conversations that he has with her. He doesn't show her that he supports her. He always puts her down and let her know that I know more than you because I'm so far along in my life than you are. Then we can see her going to link up with his sister-in-law, which is also her sister-in-law, whatever. And she tells her that, you know, we've had some bad days, but we haven't argued in like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like, how long y'all been married? So y'all been arguing like every day up until, and now like it's just trash. So then she brings up the fact that she be wanting to hang out with her friends and stuff, and he don't really wants that. And the sister-in-law was like, I can kind of understand why he may feel that way, because if the shoe was on the other foot, I would feel that way. And it's kind of sad that, you know, she's in that sense of that mind state where she still want to hang out with her friends. And I'm like, well, that's what happens when you get these two individuals that are on different ends of the spectrum, you try to bring them together and then expect them to be able to, it's not always going to happen like that. But I'm just not here for Eric. I really pray that, and I don't believe she's going to do this, but when it comes to the final decision, I feel like Virginia is going to stick in that situation, and she's going to continue to fuck with him off hope.
I hope not. I hope not, because I think that even though the one thing I think that aggravated me the most is her arguing with him about whether she should be able to stay at her male friend's house, when we know that's not really what this is about. This is really about you feeling controlled to the extent that you want to argue with him about every little thing, because it constantly feels like he's putting more and more constrictions on you. And it's only been a month, and she's expected to be this totally different person. And I think he's not open enough. I think he is, a closed-minded Trump supporter that wants a Stepford wife. And that girl is not going to be that. And she realizes that she's going to have to kill a part of herself in order to fit into that. So I feel like she's fighting him on things that she shouldn't necessarily be fighting him on. But it's kind of like, if I don't fight him on these things, he's going to take over my life. Like, I think that's what she feels. And that's unfortunate that they would stay together after, it's all said and done, because it's just going to get worse once the cameras are gone. It's only going to get worse. I don't think it's going to get better. And the fact that he gets upset by the smallest thing, like he got upset when she compared his medals and shit to Boy Scout badges. You could tell he was upset by that, but he let it go. But I was like, I don't know why you upset. Like, that's exactly what the fuck all of this is a representation for. You know what I'm saying? You fitting into white boy middle America. You know what I'm saying? Which is a Boy Scout, which is an army man or airman or whatever the fuck you did, like feeling so proud of yourself for, going and joining the war. Not to say that people don't deserve our respect, but there are a lot of y'all that go and do that shit just so people can pat y'all on the back for it.
Yes.
Just saying. And Eric is one of those types. And her crying was hilarious to me, because I feel like in the same way that it annoys us when Haley does it, I think she used the white woman tears for the good, because she needed to switch the energy to being about her, because it's always about him. Yeah. And I'm just tired of them. And I'm glad that Dr. Pepper was on her shit this episode, because she was not letting any of the bullshit like float. And they were willing to pretend like everything was fine again. And I'm so tired of them doing that. Everything is not fine. He's a psycho killer. You're batshit. Y'all don't need to be together. Like, you need to find you a young man that wants to party, that wants to travel, that wants to go get fucked up Thursday through Saturday with you and go to, like, there are men out there who will do that with you. I don't know why, like Jamie said, I don't know why you haven't decided to just be with one of your homeboys.
That's what I said too. I said the exact same thing in my review. You need to be with one of your friends.
Yeah. Like, it's just stupid at this point.
Exactly. I think she had to grow up on her own. She had to grow up fast. I think her version of growing up fast was just hanging out, partying, and she still is doing that. I don't think she is even an adult. That's why she don't know to leave this marriage. Because, as much as she says she does not want him to control her, staying in the marriage allows him to control you, because it makes you have to fight him and fuck with him. And while her excuse of, I should be able to stay out all night and not come home is dumb, like, that's dumb. And you can't keep saying that. At the same time, you also can't want to stop her from hanging out with her friends all the time. Like, she should be able to do that. But it's like neither of them wants to compromise on partying. And I don't get why she can't party all the time. And he don't get that she can't, not still have a life or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I do think they gonna stay together, but I think they're gonna do that as of decision day. But come reunion time, I don't know if they'll still be together. I hope off camera she'll be able to cuss his ass out and leave him. But because the sister-in-law is already brainwashed, I feel like if she allows his family to keep her under their thumb, she won't have people telling her, bitch, leave, run and get away. Because I think
nobody is
under his thing
on the show. And that's crazy to me that nobody is telling her to run.
Well, I think they want them to make their own decision, which I get. You don't want to force them to do one or the other. But I feel like hopefully watching the season back, at least the beginning of it, can help them realize, you know what, I should leave this shit. come reunion time.
Mm-hmm. I think that the experts are doing her a disservice because the same way that they compete bullshit with Ryan and Clara, I feel like they aren't doing enough digging to find out what the real issue is with Virginia and Eric. It's so easy to say, okay, well, Virginia, you're not ready to be a wife, and just leave it at that. But you are putting Eric on a slippery slope to where he can control her and where he feels like a lot of the crazy stuff that he's doing is valid. So, yeah, I really think it's dangerous. I think they're going to stay together because I think that they're influencing Virginia in the right way with the wrong person. So I think she's going to stay with him.
I believe it. I agree with that myself. So we'll move on to Jacob and Haley.
Fuck her. I hate her.
Same shit, different day. You say you hate Haley?
Oh yeah, she pissed me off this episode. I want to punch in the throat.
Embarrassing. Let me run through it. So Jacob and Haley spent time at the batting cages, and we learned that I just learned that she's a very competitive person. Haley brought photos of back in the day. Jacob, he's learning more about her, and he's learning that she's been stubborn all her life. She started bringing up something from when she was 4 years old and how she didn't want to wear no helmet somewhere. She's just always been a stubborn person. Let me go. Okay, experts. What do I have? Expert stops. Oh, I mixed up some of my notes. So Jacob sees a few pictures of her. And let me fast forward to when they went putting. He showed her pictures of himself. And did y'all notice how standoffish she was? Like, It seems like when she showed pictures, he came closer. But when he showed her his, she just stood off like she didn't really give a damn. Trash. Wholeheartedly trash. So they were tasked with a letter. They had to write a letter to their younger self. And they had to share it with each other. So then his letter just said, don't be a BIT and don't cry or whatever he said. It was like 3 little lines and that was it. When she got to hers, she gave a very detailed message about herself. And he kind of sat there and looked like, I guess I could have said more. And then she said, well, do you have anything else to say? He said, well, I want to know, what would you tell yourself the night when before you got married? I honestly don't even remember what she said, but when she turned the question on him, he said that he should have never bought the bracelet, because since he brought the bracelet, she gave the bracelet to her mom. She originally thought that it was a necklace, but it ended up being a bracelet, and she's never worn it. The entire time they've been together, she hasn't called for her mom to send it back. It's as if she didn't care, because she felt as though it wasn't that big of a deal, but it has been a big deal to him. She then goes on to say, well, I got you a hat. Why you ain't wearing the hat? He said, but I still have the hat. It's not that, I ain't got it at all. At least I still have the hat. But you're comparing a $800 bracelet to like this cheap hat. So they don't really weigh out the same to me. What else do I have? Yeah, Jacob just wanted her to ship the ring or whatever. She gets on the phone with her mom, talks to her mom, tells her mom, I want you to ship the ring back. He's still complaining. Not the ring. I keep saying ring, the bracelet. He keeps complaining about this same bracelet or whatever. And the mom's like, well, when you give a gift, it's a gift. He shouldn't act like that. I'm going to overnight it immediately tomorrow. She said yes. And I want to make sure that I put it in his hand so we don't have to have this conversation anymore, because he just gave me my hat back. He just sat it on the dresser and I saw it that morning. I don't really know what to say about them. I felt like they both kind of annoyed me a bit. I kind of felt like I didn't think the bracelet was that huge of a deal either. Like, why are you so upset with her about it? But y'all can go ahead and give y'all commentary on them.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like Haley ain't shit. I think that I didn't like that he kept bringing up how much it was, but I feel like that was to prove the point of, this wasn't just some little $20 rinky-dink bracelet that I got from Marshall's, bitch. I spent some real money on this, and I expect you to act as if it matters to you that I thought of you enough to spend money on you like this before I even met you. And the way she called her mom, it pissed me off, because I'm like, if it was that easy for you to get the bracelet back from your mom, you should have been did that as soon as he let you know he felt the way. And the fact that she constantly ignored how he felt about it, it just, to me, it was a representation that she don't give a fuck about him. And that's what he said in therapy. And that's what Dr. Pepper said. Dr. Pepper was like, you don't even seem to be like caring about his feelings. Like there's no compassion towards him whatsoever. And then she starts crying, you know, and I just kind of feel like I can't stand her. I can't stand her.
When they kept showing the footage from the times they discussed it, I feel like he didn't bring how much it costed until now, because she kept acting like it wasn't shit. And I feel like when you marry someone and they give you a gift, you assume that person will keep it with them. I think he kept bringing up how the issue is not how you haven't wore it, it's how you didn't think to even bring it with you, because it was a gift I gave you to start off this marriage. And you treated the same way you treat us, as if it doesn't matter. Like, you know, take it or leave it, it doesn't really matter or whatever. And I feel like the fact that we know that she has been calling her mama, telling her shit, because the mama was too up to date on their shit for it not to be a thing. You could have easily said, "Ma, send it here." Because if you said, "Ma, he keep asking me," that means she know about it. Why wouldn't your mama just send it? Like, why wouldn't your mother send it even if you didn't ask? If your mom wants you to have a successful marriage, you say, "Ma, he keep complaining about the bracelet. Can you send?" Like, my mom would have sent it without me asking, because she wants it to be good. So I feel like fuck Haley. Fuck her mama. They two double dip Karens, because y'all trying to make it seem as if his complaint was to get it back because of how much it cost. That was never a point of his. His point was, why won't you just have it here with you? The same way I have the hat here, even though I haven't worn it. And I feel like him putting it on the dress or whatever, was him showing her, I have it here. Not you can have it back, but see, I have the hat. Do you have a bracelet? No. So I don't like her or her mama. Fuck her and fuck her mama.
I feel like Haley is the epitome of who white women are raised to be, except she messed up because she didn't marry the man with the money by the time she was 25. She's still stuck bar hopping, which is why I think she's so frustrated with Jacob, because Jacob can't provide that to her, and she can't just sit there and be so self-absorbed, you know, while somebody else makes all the money, which is what she wants. I really don't like Haley. I could drink a whole cup of her damn tears. I'm so tired of the shit. Jacob, I was getting a little bit frustrated with Jacob this episode, because we see in the previews for next week that they decide to reset. They start over. They want to see things through this till the end. And I don't feel like Jacob is a bad person. I feel like I actually really like Jacob. But I feel like Haley brings out all of his bad qualities, because she keeps playing these damn mind games, and he keeps looking bad by the way that he's reacting to her. And then he allows her to start over. And one of the things that goes back to me saying that Haley is the epitome of like the average white woman, or stereotypical average white woman, is the fact that she can show her ass, do all this fucked up shit to Jacob. The minute she starts crying and decides to restart, she gets another chance to restart and then show her ass again. So Haley, you need an entire awakening, because the only man who you will be suited for would honestly be a man like Eric. It would be somebody like Eric who's raised to be middle class, good old boy type thing, and that's what she wanted. You think you're too good for Jacob, and you're not. I'm tired of her.
Thank you so much, Yaya, for the super chat. She says, I watch Married at First Sight Australia. It's the bomb. The format is different. People be cheating behind their partner's back with someone from the other couples and reveal it to the group. People be about to fight. It's a hot mess. The reunions are better. I caught some of that, and it is a pretty good show. Yeah, I definitely have.
May have to look into it, man.
Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna catch up on it, but I caught it in the middle, kind of in the middle of the season. But it's a whole hot mess.
And let me say this: her making a big deal out of Jacob wearing the fucking shorts and a t-shirt as a joke to the charity thing.
That was aggravating.
It's an old picture, bitch. Like, it's old. And also, his quads were amazing. He needs to find him a girl who works out, who can appreciate the muscle tone that was in his thighs, because that's all I saw. I was like, oh my God, his thigh muscles are insane. And that's all she cared about, was that he wore shorts and a shirt to a golf event. Like, who cares?
But he said he wore it as a joke. So I feel like we didn't even get him saying it was to be funny, and how the coworkers laughed, and it wasn't like he wasn't trying to be for real about it.
It wasn't embarrassing. It was funny.
And
she continues to look for opportunities to be disgusted, so she can
cry. Say that.
That's all it was.
Absolutely. She tries to find reasons to not like him, which makes me wonder if she already really got a whole nother man.
Which is what he said from the beginning.
Yep. That's what got the bracelet. The other man.
I can't stand her. Oh. Let me move on to Brianna and Vincent. So Brianna and Vincent, she takes him out to dance because she wanted to be a dancer at one point when she was younger. And she also talked about how she had insecurity and confidence issues because she was like the darker skinned girl. Vincent, later on, we see him take her to a Dominican restaurant in Bodega. Brianna learns more about Vincent and how he came up without his dad and he lived with his aunt and how he struggled and everything. So he never had the family unit. And he said that that's one of the things that he really wants. He wants to be able to be a father and have that family unit. So you can kind of tell that they got Brianna's wheels turning. She's kind of sitting there thinking like, I want to be able to do that for him if I can get over this fear that I have, you know, with my body and being at risk of giving birth. They go to have a talk with the expert. The expert bring up, you know, whether or not Vincent would be okay with Brianna not giving birth or not, you know, getting pregnant with their child. Basically, to me, it sounded like she was trying to say like a surrogate, like bringing up a surrogate. Would he be okay with that? And Brianna was like, well, let me clear it up. I want to experience what it's like to have a child, but my issue is that I have a health concern. So I just, you know, don't know. And it's something that's up in the air. They also talked about, you know, her compromising on his sleep and stuff like that. So she has to work on being better with that. But that's what's going on with Brianna and Vincent. I hope that they are able to get to a doctor or something, being able to see somebody about her fears, her anxiety that she has around pregnancy. And I hope that she's able to actually, if that's what she wants to do, go forth and be able to, you know, have a child with him. But I also don't think she should be kind of rushed into that situation either.
No, it's been a month.
Yeah.
I don't think he should rush her because you still building a business. So why would you want your wife, who you just have only known for a month, to get pregnant when you're still building your empire, so to speak? And I think I didn't mind him not being happy about the adoption because adoption is so serious. I think you do have to think about it first. Like, you should not just say, oh, yeah, that's fine, because you may not want the kid and realize you can't give it back. So I didn't mind that part, but I do feel like him trying to rush it doesn't make sense to me. I get his whole thing about how, you know, he felt like he didn't have anyone growing up because he didn't have a father figure. But that does not mean that you have to rush and have a baby with someone who you just met. I think her time frame of, you know, 2 to 3 years is a good time frame to make it y'all don't divorce. Like, I don't think you should be planning kids right now. Like, if he wants kids within a year, that means we should start planning things now. It's like, no, give it 2 or 3, like, have enough time for y'all to really get to know one another. It's good not to go on TV. It's free rent. Like, y'all don't have any real things to worry about because it's easy right now. But in a year from now, let's see if you then still want to be married to her or vice versa. But I don't like him rushing the baby thing. That makes me mad. But I also don't like her not wanting to let him sleep in. That he's a grown-ass man. Right. If he wants to go to bed at 2 a.m. and wake up at noon, as long as his work schedule is still being done, it don't matter. It's not as if he's oversleeping for work. It's not as if he's not working. He still gets up at whatever time and goes work, comes home. Like, that don't. And if he wants to be up late and scroll social media because he drives around all day, let him do that. Like, I don't like how she's making it seem as if, well, he should go to bed earlier and then get up early. Like, that's not even a compromise. It made no sense. So I don't like how neither of them kind of wants to budge on those two things.
Yeah, both of them really got. Oh, go ahead, Jamie.
Fedora says, and he had a laundry list of things he wanted to do and countries he wanted to visit. I know he don't want to do that with small kids. Okay, he definitely had a long list of stuff.
For sure.
Facts. Them kids gonna slow it down, and you're just a car salesman for right now. And we don't know what you're actually bringing in for real in comparison to her.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's playing in his imagination a lot. I think that this whole time Vincent has been a man without a plan, and I feel like that's why his last relationship, man without a plan. That's why his last relationship didn't work. He has so many things going on in his imagination. So how great he wants to be, but it's like, how are you gonna get there? And right, both of them really got on my nerves because while Bree's concern is very serious, we never got that from her at the beginning. I feel like she only put her health issue on the front line because she knew that Vincent wasn't budging with his timeline, which you shouldn't feel pressured into having kids tomorrow. But the thing is, I feel like she's only bringing that up because she don't want to have kids tomorrow. So both of y'all are they're really getting on my nerves. And I almost feel like that topic is so serious that they should have vetted that at the beginning. Are you okay if somebody, physically don't want to have their own kids? And I mentioned how it reminded me of Bennett and Amelia from last season. You remember Bennett didn't believe in having his own biological
right.
Yeah.
That's definitely a deal breaker. So I think Brianna has every right to be cautious, but at the same time, I think she would physically have children. She just don't want to have them tomorrow.
I think they should just stop. I think it's too early to be really fussing about kids. Like y'all both want kids. That should be the thing. Y'all both want kids. So I think to be discussing kids to this degree on the show, which is, only 8 weeks in, is a bad thing. Because as long as y'all, like with last year, with Bennett and Amelia, he didn't want kids. She did. And so he then, kind of came around her point. This season with these two, they both want children. Like she wants kids, she just don't want them now. That's why I don't see why y'all keep why y'all keep talking about it. Y'all both want them. And the thing is, it'll happen when it happens. You may want to wait 3 years, but you may get pregnant in a year because that is just what might happen. I think it should be, I don't want any kids before a year. That could be a easy conversation. So that means we won't even talk about kids before a year. And after that, whatever happens, happens. Because we both want children. But for them to try to be fussing about the timeline 8 weeks in is stupid. Y'all both want children.
Right.
So there's really no disagreement on that.
Yeah. It just, y'all know he seems controlling and weird. And we're just kind of a little nervous that, he'll backhand slap her one day when she annoys him too much. That's it. That's all.
Gotcha. Okay, I was trying to unmute myself over here. Okay, let's go ahead and move over to Orion and Clara.
Child, her mansion. I've been waiting to say
it. Nope.
Child, her in her mansion. I'm sorry, y'all, but this is the strongest chin on the show, and I'm so listen, let's just cut to it because we already know what it is. She and him are both on bullshit. Ryan, we don't know what the fuck your issue is, but you playing. You don't want to have sex with that girl. And her mama is weird.
Someone put in my comment section that they feel as if Ryan just doesn't like cooch, but he likes sex. And so he feels like she can get him off, and that's okay. But if he touches her vagina, that's bad. And that's why he's been able to have these year-long relationships and not have sex, because to him, he doesn't want to touch vagina, but he can date a girl and she can get him off. And I was like,
he knows that's what the family is supposed to look like.
Yeah. So he's dating
that's not what he really wants. Right. Yeah,
so it seems as if he's, I'm prim and proper because I'm with a girl, but I'm not fucking her, but she's, and whatever.
Yeah, no. I'm over him. I'm over her allowing him to treat her in this way, because it's like, why aren't you just saying what it is? She constantly makes excuses for him. She tries to explain away the situation, and he just sits there like a fucking idiot. Also, her mom is a psycho who breaks a confession CD. Like, I'm still not over that. Like, the mom is insane. Okay, like, throw the whole mom the fuck away.
I think she was a kid back then, so it almost makes sense. They was church. They white church people. Usher's a black man singing about, fucking girls. To them, that's horrible.
Racism.
She looks just like her mama. That's where she gets the no upper lip from. And then the chin and the nose she gets from her dad. The whole time I was like, wow, this is how it came about. But Ryan, Ryan reminded me of, and I talked to y'all about this, Colton Underwood from The Bachelor, who came out as gay this week. Colton Underwood was like a super, I think he played in the NFL for a little bit, or either he played like college football at some notable place. He was a cute little white boy. They always showed so many shower scenes, but his biggest thing was that he was a Christian and he was a virgin. And he ended up choosing the girl that didn't want marriage. And the whole purpose of the show is to leave engaged. And I couldn't understand why you would choose the girl who came on the show and not want you, but it's because you're gay. So you didn't want to commit into something like that. Ryan, on the other hand, I feel like this whole time I've been trying to like give him benefit of the doubt and say, oh, well, maybe he's not gay. This is very suspect. All the activity is suspect, and you are okay being married to kind of have a beard. And at the end of the 8 weeks, you're going to stay married because you have someone who is so desperate for love and so messed up on the inside that she will keep basically fighting for your attention. She'll continue to give you head, and y'all will have some sort of a partnership. I feel like if he was with a woman who pushed harder than Clara, he would leave at the end of the 8 weeks. But now that he knows,
when does it happen?
Yes, he knows that he has a fool. He can continue to be a married man, continue to have a beard. That's what he gonna do.
When the doctor asked them about, of the sex conversation, the fact that they both instantly looked at each other as in, okay, what do you want me to say? You know what to say. I felt like she knew to look at him for how to answer that question. And the fact that she still can't say in front of him, I'm not happy sexually. I'm not happy that I'm not getting sex. I'm not happy getting you off every night. She won't say that to him, but she says that when she thinks she's off camera, when the other cameras call her, I feel like it's bullshit. And I don't understand why she says she loves him, because I don't see where he has shown her he will even love her at all. Like when you brought up how, I see the potential in loving her, but I also don't want to say it and then do something unnatural, and then the words don't mean nothing. I'm looking like, what the fuck would you talk? Like, what are you saying?
When he said unnatural, I was completely like, what the fuck does that mean?
I was with him on
penis. He wants a dick. Ryan, look, he either wants to suck some dick, jack some dick off, or he is okay with never having sex, and he can be a fake Christian his whole life and be married to some white girl who don't get no dick. If I can get no dick, neither can she. I think he feel like if I can't get no dick, neither can Clara, because there's no other reason to not get her off when she gets you off. And it's sad to see her when I feel like she sucked in and sucked down her disdain with being unhappy when they read the letter stuff or whatever, and he was like, I wouldn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? And older Ryan, loved you, whatever. And I felt like she sucked in how unhappy she is, how she realized he don't have any emotional connection to me because he don't have any with himself. And I'm like, I felt like she wanted to cry, but she couldn't. So she just sucked it in. It was like, okay, I guess that's that. I'm looking like, no, bitch, leave.
I hated that she sat up there and she just kept giving excuses when the lady was asking questions. I'm like, why the fuck are you talking? Let this nigga talk. He's the one with the stipulations. Let him explain. And she up here coming up with stuff and just giving him excuses, and the shit just got on my damn nerves. And I'm like, why are you not seeing that he continues to move the marker? I can't remember what the first issue was as to why they won't have sex or whatever. Then he goes to another thing of, oh, I don't want to say I love you because I don't want it to just be a word after a while. I don't want it to just be like, and it's like, it don't have to be. It's all about you. Like, it don't have to be like that. I don't want it to just be.
She allows it.
Like, he's so full of shit, and I hate that she don't.
Because he first said how he wanted them to get to know each other, which I got. Okay, cool. It's only been 2 weeks. Okay, cool. It's now been like 2 months. and you keep talking about it as if it's never gonna happen. Like I don't get it. But it's weird because as they talk about it, he talks about it as if they're not doing. That's what makes me mad. Someone brought up how last season when it was Karen and Miles who weren't having sex because Karen did not want to have sex. However, Karen and Miles wasn't getting each other off. They didn't do anything the whole 8 weeks or whatever. It's different. This season, he's saying to the public, I don't want to have sex. Behind closed doors, he getting jacked off or his dick sucked daily. So he's not being honest about what he's actually doing. And that's what makes me the most upset. He's lying as if they're not sexing, but you are getting sex.
The other thing that made me think that he was really gay was because whenever Ryan went and had that sit down with Claire's mom, what real Christian is going to agree to have children with somebody hoping that things change once the child is born? If that's seriously a front runner in your mind, then you're not going to wait, have children, wait for the child to be born, and then say, okay, maybe she'll be involved in church. Or it's the simple fact that you're not even worried about that point because you know that to produce children, you have to have sex.
Ryan's full of shit. He wants penis.
End of story. That is true. He wants it. But that's all I got, y'all.
Some bullshit. Sexless marriage. Sexless marriage. That's all he wants. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else either.
Yeah, that's it.
That pretty much wraps up the panel. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. I'm jamithatsme. Everybody want to tell where they can find y'all? If not, we could just
J Lee's Corner on YouTube, J_Lee's_Corner on IG and Twitter. Y'all know Bondi Blue is Bondi Blue on everything.
Niecy Dixon on everything. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Niecy Dixon.
Watch you pop back in like that.
I was trying to hurry up and run back. I had to pee. I was holding it and I was like, I gotta pee. And then, as soon as I go pee, she like, all right, y'all, that's it.